Good evening and welcome to the Dune City of Granitegard here on the Guardtower Presents. This is our weekly live play fantasy adventure. We do this every Sunday evening at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and we upload that to YouTube on Fridays. Now, we are back to uploading again on YouTube, as I'm sure any of you that are part of our Discord got 400 notices that we were putting those videos back up. Thank you for the patience on that. We certainly do appreciate it. But yeah, it's back, and thank you very much, Roger, for helping us solve that problem.
Anyone could have been the one who uploaded those videos and caused those notifications.
Oh, no.
We're trying to find out who did this.
That was a thank you, Roger, for real, not a thank you, Roger.
Yeah.
No, I appreciate you helping us solve
Could
that.
have been anybody.
Yep.
So,
But it was.
speaking of things that have to do with the Doom City of Granitegard, you can find everything you need to know about the Doom City of Granitegard by visiting our Linktree page. And what is our Linktree page, Chelsea?
Great. Okay, well, I'm so glad you asked, Will. I've been waiting a really long time to do this. You can find our Linktree at capital L-I-N-K-T-R dot backslash dcog.
And once again, that is.
Capital
Do it
L-I.
backwards.
No. M-K.
Capital.
Shh, it's an important part of my process. T-R dot backslash dcog. Thanks, everybody.
Yes.
It's funnier that I know you looked at it.
And, so, what can you find on Linktree, you ask? You can find links to the Guard Tower's Twitch and their YouTube channels. We can watch episodes of this show in case you missed anything there. You could find links to our Patreon, our X, and again, our Discord, as I talked about just a little bit ago, where you can actually talk to the cast and crew.
You can see pictures of Adam's frog.
You can
Yeah.
see pictures of Adam's frog,
Beans.
people's hobbies, all kinds of different things on there. So yeah, it's actually it's a pretty great site. I enjoy frequently
yeah.
visiting.
It's
our
true.
Discord
It's not
site.
just beans.
It's a hobby.
The frog's name is brown sugar baked beans,
Bush and belongs to Bush.
but we call him beans.
That's a long name for any animal,
Copyright.
frog or hobby.
Great.
So
You
anyway,
can't copyright brown sugar baked beans.
I just
Take me to court.
A challenge has been issued.
I invited.
so yes, back to our announcements.
Frog is mine.
This evening we've got a variety of minis and stuff for you to enjoy. Hopefully this evening, we are using Warlock tiles for our main map, but we have a lot of custom things that have been done by our friend Chris Field, as well as part of the staff from the Guard Tower East has contributed a couple of items on there, and even our own Hadley has a piece or two there on the board tonight. So thank you so very much on that. We have minis by Chris Wolfgang over at Glittering Cave Studios and our friend Tony Theppeson. And of course, music tonight is provided by Pocket Bard. If you haven't picked that up, head on over to the Apple App Store or Google Play. Grab it today. Super easy to use program. It has music that you can vary from just exploration right over to combat very seamlessly. If your party happens to win and survive the encounter, they even have some victory songs for them on that. Of course, they also have screams if they happen to die during combat, which is always nice. So pick it up today and add some
We
magic
provide
to
our
your
own.
own table. And if you like painting minis and that sort of thing, you can swing on over to the Guard Tower, either the east or west location, and pick up minis there. They've got minis, they've got paints, they've got all kinds of things for your map accessories. And if you are interested in strategy games, tabletop games, card games, or dice, well, they've got you covered there too. You can head over to the west location, which is off Peg, but we'll be moving over to Nike Drive off of Hilliard Roan Road after the holidays. And the east location, which is on Main Street right off of 270. So stop by either one of those. If you can't make it there, you can always visit them at theguardtower.com. Once again, that is theguardtower.com. Peruse their wares, check out their community pages there, find people that have the same hobby as you. And I think that kind of wraps up what I had for this evening. Rogers, or something that I missed?
I didn't have an announcement until just like a moment ago, and it just come to me. And I have this thing that's come over me, and I feel like we should make one of those commercials that airs at like 3 to 4. It's got lots of like inflatable wavy armmen in it,
Oh, yeah, we can do that.
just talking about the locations of where they're at.
Stop in today.
Right, and maybe we sell mattresses also.
yeah.
Oh, nice, man. Throw some Ginsu knives.
Yeah. So again, less of an announcement and more of an ask. Like, what are you doing
Yeah.
this weekend?
Oh my goodness gracious! I anything but that. I think.
I'm doing this.
Okay, well, if we've got nothing further on that, we're gonna go ahead and look at throw some dice this evening, and we're gonna roll our intro, and then and wave our hands. Yes, we'll see you here in a few moments.
Once the seat of economic and political power in the Northern Territories, the city of Granitegard fell in one catastrophic moment of terror and bloodshed. In the quiet hours of the night, the massive granite mesa that served as the city's namesake exploded violently, the debris reducing entire swaths of the city to ruin. Before the inhabitants could even comprehend what had happened, they were blindsided by an army of monstrosities surging from the sewers and into the city streets. The militia valiantly attempted to protect the fleeing citizens, but their efforts were futile against the overwhelming tide of bloodthirsty creatures. And in the midst of the chaos, the city gates slammed shut, turning Granitegard into a death trap for anyone that remained behind the high, fortified walls that had been meant to protect them. For over a decade, it has stood as silent as a tomb and shrouded in a perpetual mist. No one has entered, and nothing human has ever come out. That is, until now. 12 years to the day since the fall of Granitegard, the Trader's Gate has opened. The news has spread like wildfire across the human crescent. And like a siren's call, fortune hunters from far and wide have been drawn by the possibility of untold riches lying just inside the city walls. Daring the foolish and the brave to risk it all at a chance of wealth beyond their wildest dreams. It has also stirred the interest of old rivals. With no one from the original bloodline to claim the mantle of leadership of Granitegard, plans are forming in the dark. Powerful forces seek to play their games of state, as the lives of everyone in the North hangs in the balance. And in the midst of this all, 6 strangers have been drawn to Granitegard by something other than riches or power. Their destiny is tied to the events surrounding the fall of the city. Each of them must confront the past in order to find a way forward. Each of them must search for answers in the doomed city of Granitegard.
And welcome back. As we had left off at our last episode, our party was taking some time down at the garrison tower to recuperate both physically and mentally from their experience against the Way. The situation with Vaughn's patron has become quite a matter of concern for many members of the party. His deal for power with an unknown entity certainly seems to be extracting a toll on Vaughn that is much greater than he had anticipated, and he launched an attempt to wrestle control for those powers that resulted in a very unsettling experience. And speaking of kind of unsettling experiences, Yip Yip is having a little bit of a crisis of her own with the birds and the bugbears. So the bees and the bugbears on that. Not only that, she's expressed a bit of fear
How about
about
the bugbears and the bees?
Bugbears and the bees, that's what it is?
Yeah.
So you did read it.
Oh,
Where are all these questions?
Show off.
the one with all the pictures in it, right? So, but yes, she's definitely expressed a bit of fear for the future, especially the mantle of leadership that she's not quite sure she's ready to pick up on that. And for Anna, she's desperate to save her siblings from the clutches of Mirwin Hastings, and she's hoping against all odds that she can locate a possible lost family fortune hidden within her family's home deep within Granitegard. Meanwhile, Skeech still has the pump that he had engineered, the last task to help out the kobolds, and he's hoping that his personal sacrifice to fashion such a device is not in vain,
Thank you for your service.
as they had to head to Newtown first to
gotta
put
be
an end
somebody's
to the Way. And it's here where we're going to pick up tonight's adventure. So everyone had recuperated, taken their rest, and brought Vaughn back from out in the cold. Again, he seems no worse from the wear from being out there for many, many hours. Surprisingly so.
Physically.
Physically, this is true. And here we are back in the garrison tower, back at the top where all had brought him. Vaughn sitting by the fireplace.
What time is it?
Right now, it's probably about 6 or 7 in the morning.
Okay, so
The day has just begun. Sky is right by you, next to the fire there. She's pressed tightly against your side. And what are the rest of you doing?
pouting.
I'm going to go to my little section of the room, and I'm going to get all my belts that I've made out of various spider silks and start distributing them for everybody, including one that I've made for Sky.
But where does Ty wear
It is like a little collar with a small barrel attached, like not unlike a Burmese mountain dog would wear.
Aww.
And I'm gonna pop it open and put a potion inside of it, seal that.
Excellent.
Now, I do want to ask. Last time me and Mary were in the room. Shut up. Me and Mary had left the room. Are we back now, or?
I would assume that you all are still out there with the, well, for her, a hatchet, for you, a giant, huge axe, staring at a very large piece of wood next to the chopping block.
Right, and she was, and poor Yip Yip was struggling to actually swing said axe.
Well, you haven't actually swung it yet, but yes, it is quite hefty in your hands.
Especially with a negative in strength.
What else are we doing here?
Well, I'm trying to, it was a very awkward situation that just passed, and no one's talking. I'm trying to fill the silence with and sort of occupy myself. Hey, Echo.
Yes.
I actually had something I've been meaning to ask you about. You're traveled around and seen a lot of different kinds of wildlife. Is that right?
I suppose, yeah.
Or maybe, do you got any? I've suddenly become very, very interested in all kinds of wildlife and creatures, trying to expand my horizons a little bit. Do you got any books about animals and things I could borrow? Especially one with pictures in it.
Echo just kind of looks hard at Reverend for a second and then goes, okay, fine. And pulls something out of his bag and kind of gives you another cocked glance and then just hands you the book.
I see the look you're giving me, and it's probably better if you don't ask too many questions.
Honestly, as long as we get moving soon, I do.
I agree. I all this business makes me uncomfortable. We gotta just move forward. I think if you were the one to say that, remind everyone why we're going into the town.
Sure.
I think that might help everyone.
Okay. You think I should do it?
I don't think anyone's really going to listen to me right now.
That's fair.
You make a good point.
I'll go get Yip Yip and Mary and talk to them.
I'll
You should study that. There's a very detailed pictures in there.
I'm going to read this, and I'm going to try not to get myself in any more trouble with Damon or Vaughn.
Good. And Echo will exit the tower looking for Yip Yip and Mary.
Downstairs, outside in the courtyard, you could hear Mary giving some instructions to Yip Yip as she's poised to swing down what looks to be quite a large axe in her hands, but is mostly just a hand axe to a human.
What is going on?
Oh, we're getting out our anger.
Oh, I suppose it's a healthy coping mechanism for what you've all been through. I think we should. Yeah, that looks heavy. I think we should probably get moving soon. I mean, we spent enough time without looking for people we need to save, and make daylight's burning. I don't really think there's any more progress coming from talking here, so we should get moving.
Do we still need to go see the help?
I think that is on the agenda.
What's wrong? Oh,
Having a bit of a medical issue that
Are you in pain?
I am unfamiliar with. So I think she needs to talk to the health mother about it.
he reaches for the book that he just gave to Reverend.
I don't know how to.
She has some little mass growing on either shoulder. Little bumps.
Bumps. And they hurt. Yes.
Do you think you know?
Dr. Echo is in.
I hope
Yeah.
Echo does know.
Yeah.
I hope you know.
Is this nature?
So much.
You know what? Medicine would have been better, but you can use nature if you want.
That'll be
more
a
natural than that.
whopping 10.
A whopping 10.
50, as they say.
Sign that back.
I could be right or I could be
Yeah.
completely wrong.
I think you're right.
Well, she might have measles. It could be that she's growing horns. These might be some terrible dermatological infection or something on the back there.
Typical.
You basically list what is the equivalent of WebMD, which
Yep.
basically means you're going to die, you're going to die, you're going to die, you're going to die.
Exploratory surgery.
Surgery.
2 days.
I'm so sorry.
Yip now looks absolutely mortified.
Is there like another alpha mother if you don't? Is there like a backup?
Just remember,
Like a Charlie
you
mother?
asked for this.
A beta mother? Like,
Well, she is the beta mother. There needs to be a tertiary mother.
Certainly a delta.
Omega. Yeah. Yeah.
Mega.
Yeah.
Oh, let's hope we don't
And
get
then after Delta Mother, it's Step Alpha Mother.
We
I don't need to tell everybody, but I don't think it's the best time.
Well, you're
Considering how tense it is.
you're speaking to the two people with the most time-pressing matters, so I think if we're okay with it, then I mean, it's only my whole identity that we're putting on hold.
Right. What's another few weeks?
No, genuinely, we want to make sure you're okay. So if you need to talk to her, that's fine. But we do need to start moving. If we have to carry Vaughn, we carry Vaughn. But
We should probably go upstairs. Oh. Did you say Carrie Vaughn?
yes,
What does that mean?
Reverend has tasked me with bringing the others together, seeing as I'm the most popular of the group at the moment. So
Oh, are you? Okay.
he'll just lead the pack back inside.
Come, pups.
Here, boy.
and back up at the top of the tower you go. Do you follow along, or do you...
Yes, but I am not a dog. I will walk on my own accord. Next.
What if he had treats?
Don't even laugh with me.
It depends if they're good treats.
Yip is trailing a bit behind, but it's still following.
Treats. Treats.
What are the rest of you doing there while Echo
We
is
still
doing
go
that?
back to
Everybody getting ready, or what are we doing?
It would work for you.
I'm going in standing by the door, but just trying to not make eye contact with anyone, especially Vaughn or Damon.
So again, what precautions or what preparations are you all making to head into Granitegard is a good question.
I have made many potions and alchemical creations, one of which I'm sniffing at the moment, and that would be some glue.
Oh,
On the other hand, all my potion models are empty.
are you all to do anything for against the weather, that sort of thing like that? Is a very good question.
Yes. Yip is already very bundled up.
Yeah,
Alright.
getting some cloaks together and, food and water for the journey, rope, etc. Yeah.
I made so much
All
more.
right, just want to make sure that we're good to go on that.
Silk and run.
Anyone have
Oh, that's right.
Why do we need shackles?
Just in case.
Do we have
Who's asking?
Actually, I put my book down. I kind of look around. I peek out the door, and it's very chilly outside. I look around.
Yeah.
Any of the Thieves Guild people in
can.
here. Anybody got like a fur coat that I could borrow? Look for something kind of stylish. Anyone?
You have some fur.
I gave it to Damon.
All right, so you ask if anybody has anything, and they oh yeah, hold on just a few moments, and it takes a little longer than you almost can think they have forgotten the request, and then you see this gentleman chugging up the stairs, and he has this gaudy purple fur coat with this huge took head piece to put on there. It's got the flaps, the whole 9 yards.
It's perfect.
You're not sure what fur this thing might have come from, but it is ginormous and fluffy, and you look like a giant
The
purple
displacer yak.
displacer yak.
Well, I put this on.
It is incredibly warm and insulating.
And I've got but I'm leaving it unbuttoned so you can still see the sequins.
Amazing.
Right. Wow. I got the top 2 buttons.
It's fur from top to bottom.
It's very stylish.
Is that mirror I can look in?
Sure, there's a head to toe mirror there.
All right, we're ready. Oh, also I'm dropping my rapier. Echo said I should do that.
All right, you sharpen your rapier. Vaughn, anything that you're doing?
If Sky is still there, I'm petting Sky by the fire.
All right.
Sky will remember that.
At least one of you is on my side.
Is there anything that you're doing?
Just getting together the water and food and stuff.
Okay.
Extra, yeah.
All right.
Close.
I'm packing some shackles that I would love to borrow from you, if you are willing.
Sure thing. I mean, you were there when we got him in the basement with the spiders.
Yep. So I'll pack those and some rope and.
I've made so much silken rope.
Oh, that's.
Do we have any tape?
I have glue.
Oh.
I'll take some glue.
No, it's mine.
All right. Looks like everybody is prepped and ready on that.
Is everyone ready to go? We're taking a quick stop to make sure the kobold singular is okay, and then we're continuing on to find Algar and your father, and of course.
I mean, yeah.
We have to resolve our daddy issue.
That's true. And we do need to stop by my
Don't
house.
say that.
Great.
Yes.
Yes.
I think that's first on the
I think so. Yes.
But we need to start moving, especially now while it's so bright.
Do we
Yes.
know that there is an amazing fortune possibly to be had?
I don't know. It's entirely up for Honor to.
I just don't remember if we heard that.
Thought we had talked about it,
Yeah, okay.
but I don't recall. If not, I'll fill them all in on the relevant details as we walk.
On the road.
On the
Yeah.
road. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I, as you all are heading to the tunnel, I'm sure the Reverend kind of hits you up with the question of how much money is in there, and how much money is there possibly hidden in that house?
It's a great question. I mean, like, Father was always just putting stuff around, and hopefully it'll be enough to cover the debt. And there should be something there to like really establish like my claim to our household name, though I don't know if that'll mean anything to anyone. And it continues in that vein.
Well, and
Yeah.
also maybe some funds for, your friends
Oh, of course, yeah.
too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Rev, what exactly are you trying to buy? I mean, we have a whole tower. There's everything we need there.
I never really thought about that. Huh. I guess I own property on now. I don't really
No, it's left to me, but you can live there.
Well, fair. It's as close as I've come so far. I gotta think about this. I guess I usually just spend money about as quick as I'm bringing in.
Yeah, some sort of like financial plan, maybe, Cut out those everyday coffee expense. Yeah, never mind. I can't do it. I apologize.
Spider milk and toast.
You have to commit.
I know. I'm good.
All right.
Some choices are just too much, too heinous. Yeah.
Through the tunnel, you
Listen,
all.
I'm a fan of avocado toast. I like it. It tastes delicious. It's an affordable luxury.
Yeah. Anyways.
Too sad to engage with you all.
Yes.
That's out of season, so like.
So through the tunnel, you all progress as you've been several times before. As you pass under the Wild Run River, you can hear the echoing and thundering sound. Finally, towards the end, you approach that staircase that leads back up to that secret door that leads out into the sewer itself. And who's first to the door?
I could lead if
I'm gonna be firmly in the middle so I can provide us with light.
All right.
Nice.
I can see in the dark.
Oh, nice.
Oh, good for you.
You have to remind us you have dark vision.
Excuse me, DM, I have dark vision.
May I ask if anyone even remembers the way to the kobolds, or am I gonna have to lead our way to the kobolds again?
Oh, I have no
Would
idea.
I remember?
Not me. I have no idea where to
It's
go.
on the mini map now.
It's on that
You've been on potions the whole time.
Yeah.
Then cool. Yip Yip's just
So
gonna
Mary, you're the
trail
first
at
one
the
out?
back of the group.
Sure.
All right. As you step out into the sewer system, the first thing that you notice is that there's been a dramatic change in the sewers themselves. The trench area between the catwalks on the side is almost completely empty. There's almost no water whatsoever, mostly just puddles. You can see debris and stuff that is kind of piled up along the sides. And again, this seems like the water level is almost gone within the sewer system itself.
Skeech, what's wrong?
Nothing. It just looks like all the water's taken care of.
I'm holding the piece.
This is fine.
Oh,
There.
how would that have gotten cleared out?
I don't know. Why didn't you ask your god about it? Let's go.
All right.
Salty speech.
Echo will be taking up the back too, keeping a particular eye on Fawn.
I am smack dab in the middle because I imagine people want to keep an eye on me.
You gotta stand next
I'll be
to
back in the
wall.
back with Echo, just like, let's figure it
So,
out.
Mary, I think you're leading the party.
Yip
Up
Yip's
here?
trailing at the very back.
I'll be up there with you.
Well, I've gotten uncharacteristically quiet on this trip.
I'll be right in front of the red room.
So the awkward procession continues, and you all approach the area where the kobolds are. And as you get to the entrance area there, you can see that the hidden entrance to the kobold hive, things are definitely not as you last left them. The door piece that normally seals it up has been completely ripped out of the wall and is laying in that drainage area itself. There is a smell of a bit of burnt timber, maybe almost like barbecue scent in the air as well. The opening has been ripped wide open. You can see that pieces again of that blockage in those tunnels has been thrown out into the sewer system here. There is a way in for you to go, but you would actually have to go. You have to actually step through there now. Yes.
I would say upon, seeing that poor little Yip Yip who is trailing at the back, clearly nervous, her face instantly fills with dread, and she is, zipping around everybody to get to the front and, in there.
Oh.
You mentioned a barbecue smell because of pre-established Skeech history. Is it a familiar barbecue smell?
Please.
Yes. You've smelled this before. Kind of reminds you of various forms of flesh. Not necessarily like pig flesh. Or
No, I got what you're saying.
You're picking up. Yeah. Meat's back on the menu.
That's not good.
Yeah, Yip Yip's already going in. She's running ahead of you guys, so you guys don't catch up.
I would be saying that to Mary as we walk up.
Wait, she's running way ahead of the party?
I go
Not
to
super ahead, but she's
I-
waving
I-
you guys. And
well,
she's
we gotta
going
go.
in.
I go to take off, but I look and wait and make sure everyone else is coming too.
Yes.
I look. I'm like. You think I'm not gonna come? I run off.
The tunnelway itself definitely proved to be a death trap for the raiders that came in, as evidenced by the blood and gore that you see. But in the end, it did not stop them from accessing, obviously, the kobold hive. Where you can see where it is. Most of the obstacles have been torn and ripped away. The ports that, like the death murder holes where they would fire arrows through, have actually had boards and debris and sometimes even bodies shoved into the holes to prevent anything from firing through. There are orc corpses and there are goblin corpses stacked up all along this hallway here. And you can see that landing area just past that. And as you step out onto the landing area, again, there have been barricades and such set up in here, like almost a last ditch effort to kind of hold the raiding party. And what's strange is that the bodies within this area are only orcs and only goblins. You see there's a hobgoblin as well. And they're actually stacked up like almost like somebody stacked up cordwood at this point, not just laying around like there was a battle. Almost like there's been a little bit of cleanup here in this area. But what is stranger to you all still is when you look over to where the opening would be to that elevator that would lead down into the kobold area, there is no more opening. It is a solid wall of smooth rock, as if it's just been completely sealed over. Not like bricks, not like anything along those lines, like it's if the walls itself have just kind of grown and knitted together.
Okay. Okay, that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Like, you see her very quickly, like, starting to pull out her little map and, like, flip through it and make sure, like, try to figure out the next path, because this path is clearly sealed off now. Like, maybe this... And she, like, circles another one and starts, like, to turn around.
Oh, was there a wall here before?
This looks new.
Yeah?
How did they just move the stone?
As you all begin to
I
ask
cast
those
magic sense on the wall when I start tracing sigils on it of the different schools of magic to see if any highlight on the wall.
you actually pick up transmutation, and it's actually not from the rock in the wall. It's actually coming from inside of it, because right about this time you could hear this very strange, almost melodic tune. It's something you've never heard before, but you recognize what it is. And a few moments later, the wall portion of it begins to actually, the rock just pull itself away, not with a bunch of grinding, crackling sounds, almost like just liquid. The wall begins to move, the rock begins to separate, and out comes one of the stone singers, or the kobolds. And behind it is Versagallis. And when he sees you all, he's like, yes, he's like, I thought very much that it was you, and I'm glad to see you. As you can see, we've had a bit of an incident here. I do believe it'd be better if you all came in.
They just keeps
sound
getting
good.
better.
Gladly. Thank you.
Into the tunnelway you come in, and behind you, the stone singer begins to sing again, and the rock seals in behind you. Then you go back out to the balcony that you see now. Looking to where it initially was, you can see where it's sealed off. The rest of the balcony is still sitting out where it had initially been, but the section that had been sealed off, which was the normal entrance, is still staying where it is. You can see the elevator itself, though, was destroyed to prevent anything from getting down. And he looks at you all and he says, I know that you have very little trust in me, but I do ask you all to extend me this courtesy. Please, take hands.
If he was going to throw us in this hole, this would have been an very elaborate set of ruses to get us here to throw us in a hole.
We
So
can throw him in the hole.
I think everything's probably on the up and up. So I grab his hand.
All right. Yep.
As you all hang on to him, he begins to recite something, and now you're down at the base, at the bottom area.
Wait, whose hand is this one?
It's like magic. And you all appear at the bottom. And you can see down here there are the kobolds that are down at the base. They have abandoned the upper floors. And most of the bridges on the upper area have been severed and cut at this point. And the whole bottom area has been retooled to have the kobolds living at the base rather than up in the regular living areas. And the Alpha Mother, there's light coming from the room where she normally would reside. And Versagallis motions you to please follow me. And you all step. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Yim's gonna basically be running between so many kobolds at once. Speaking in kobold, but basically just asking if everyone is okay and everything
You
like that.
don't
just,
even
like, darting
need to
around.
ask the question. You can look and see that the population that's down here is substantially reduced. You don't have to look too far to realize about half of the kobolds that you know aren't here.
Mm.
As you step through the curtains and into her chamber, you can see her lying on the bed. And there is a very large bandage that's wrapped across her chest. And she sits up a little weakly on the bed and smiles at you, Yip Yip, and extends her hand. Says, "You child, I was very worried about you."
And she like kind of very hesitantly stepped forward.
And she takes you by the hand and brings you in and gives you a nice, very tight, comforting hug. And as she does so, she can see, she touches your back and looks at you and kind of smiles. She's like, oh, she's like, that's a little early. Looks like you're stepping into that.
What?
She looks over towards Versagallis, and Versagallis looks at her and gives a bit of a nod, and she smiles back to you. And she's like, "You're growing wings. It takes a bit of time for them to reach their full bud on that, but it will come. Don't."
Oh. Okay.
So much confusion on poor Yip Yip's little face because she has never heard about this before.
Well, yes. And this was something I had planned to talk with you about at a different point, but I suppose now might be a good time for that. You can see that as she talks to you, she is definitely putting as much energy as she can right now, but she looks pale. I tell you, I believe I will let Versagallis tell you about that. I apologize, I don't have a lot of strength this time. And it is good to see all of you, and I'm glad you are well. We did lose quite a bit of our people here. I think I'll let Versagallis fill you in here. And she sits back, and you see her kind of close her eyes a bit, takes a very deep breath, and Versagallis steps over and puts a hand on her shoulder there and looks back to the rest of his. The shaman, I'm sure this is probably not a lot of shock to you, Yip Yip, but he has changed his loyalties. He opened the entrance to the orcs, to their raiding party. And it was very bad. I was not here when it occurred. I did arrive as fast as I could once I received the plea. But unfortunately there was already a good deal of damage that was done. And we stabilized the Alpha Mother. But she's definitely injured. We've got, again, magics that are helping to deal with it, but this was something that was certainly unexpected as far as the timing on things. It seemed like he might be a bit of an issue when you all had arrived, but we did not expect him to sell out his people, especially given to whom he has turned to. As you can see, he's not here, or he would have been swiftly dealt with. So if you are to run into him when you go through the city, it would be very appreciated. Bring him back to serve some justice. But either way, we can't deal with that at the moment. He escorts you out of the Alpha Mother's room and takes you over to that chamber where you all had initially had your quarters here in the kobold hive, and sits down at the table there. There's no food or anything that's been brought out. He just sits down and waves his hand, and a large cask of wine appears, and glasses appear in front of you, and he says, I could use a glass of wine. I would force any of you to partake if you don't desire, but I could certainly use one at this time. And he pours himself a glass and takes a very long, well, there's a glass right in front of you. You are more than welcome.
Keep going.
There's a full cask. I can assure you there will be as much as you desire on that replica. Yes, it appears that he was not happy with the alignment with the humans, felt very betrayed, I'm guessing, and assumed that Melisandus might offer a better deal, considering the elves took care of the kobolds before the fall. That's as best I can speculate. I very much apologize. I do believe I might have exposed our hand a bit when I came here to protect the kobolds. There's a very high likelihood that she knows that I'm here, which I doubt she'll come directly here to face me anytime soon. But it does mean that we lose a bit of the element of surprise on that.
I just want to mention, Yip Yip hasn't sat down. She's just kind of standing in the back, looking down and trembling. Is it obvious why? No, because she is basically just looking away from the group and down and shaking.
It'll help her.
Versagelis is looking at you, and you can see that there's a lot of pain in his eyes as he looks over towards you, and I wish I had something more comforting to say to you. But again, we're doing everything we can to take care of her on that. So, I'm glad you all have returned. As you can see, there's obviously something that is going on. The gates to the sewers closed, which means there's been no more water draining through, which does make it easier to move through certain areas. But it does make me wonder what is happening, why they closed the gates all of a sudden. They had allowed them to stay open this entire time. And we lack a lot of information on who and what we're all going up against. Now, Anna, I know your father served Sovereign, the Eyes of the North. I do believe there's a strong possibility, as we had talked at one time, that there might be information at maybe one of his locations that might aid us with this. Do you believe that either at his warehouse or at your home there might be...
His study. I think his study is where he kept most important things. So we could check there first.
That would
And
be
then the
most
warehouse.
beneficial.
Yeah.
On this. On that, I would say that would certainly be a good place to begin our search. I must stay here with the kobolds. Should anything happen again, I'm about all that would be standing betwixt them and whatever Melisandre sends down here. But I'm hoping that she is just happy with the sting that she's delivered and allows us to proceed on our plan that we had. So do you bring any news, any developments?
Nope.
Things are great. Things are really good. Yeah, so we're ready to just focus on Granitegard and we've got 110% of our energy and mental fortitude is
Yeah.
just ready.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we sort of got everything taken
Yeah,
care of
just
up on the surface, so
Totally under control.
it's all good.
Mm-hmm.
You say the sewer gates are closed now?
Yes, they were wide open, and they've been that way since the day the city fell. And somebody closed them. I don't believe the pump station is working, but with no fresh water coming in, it looks like it is drained out.
Could it have been the shaman?
I don't know. I was not here, unfortunately, until after the attack had begun, so I don't know what has happened in the days prior to that. And to be very honest with you, most of the kobolds have been battened down since the patrols down the sewers have become a lot more intense. I do believe that she was trying to feel things out
Where's the shaman now?
in the city somewhere. It is my speculation that he has gone to probably either the physician or to the physician. I would assume the physician, but I am not sure.
The shaman has seen us firsthand. If we gotta find him personally, so take him out before he gets to Malsindis.
Hasn't she already, in a way, come for you?
I would
Come
say
from
that
me.
Skeech is correct on that.
Yes.
And at this point,
There's no subtlety.
anything that he knows, he's more than likely already divulged.
That line of reasoning, though, it's also safe to imagine that whoever, why ever, they shut the gates to the sewers. Melisandus has been multiple steps ahead of us since you revealed this plan to us. This is an attempt to force us the direction that best suits them. We can be assumed that wherever we head, they're waiting for us.
So in that sense, it sort of doesn't matter where we go.
There is the point that those gates don't have to stay closed. If you guys draw a route, I'm pretty sure I can get one of those open.
What about the pump station? If we use your machine to turn that on, wouldn't that help us?
I mean, it would stop them from being able to suddenly flood us out if that's what they're doing. Which isn't a bad plan, but they're not really smart alone, so. That's another point. Was it just these orcs and goblins?
Yes, it was a appointed raid. From what I have been told by the kobolds, they came directly to the entrance and the attack was launched to eradicate the hive. I would assume that the shaman would have liked to keep some of his people to rule over, but the raid seemed to be pretty direct at eliminating as many kobolds as possible.
I'm not completely sure that this was a direct order from Melisandus either. From my experience, she never was really the one to command smaller groups to do this. She's got people for that.
But an individual kobold going against the hive, is that not unusual?
It seems unusual.
I can't say I'm surprised it was him.
He seemed like a real mean feller. Well,
Terrible fashion sense, too.
well, Versi. Call you Versi.
You surely can, Allie.
We
Sounds like nicknames are on the table now, yeah.
Got other names.
Where should we go? I feel lost in this cosmic struggle between ancient dragons and unspeakable evil.
Yes.
Why ever so?
Where should we go first? What is the best way to strike a blow against Melisandus and
I would speculate
get a win?
That with Anna's situation, that it might be beneficial for you all to acquire the wealth to take care of your siblings, but at the same time acquire information that would put you on a better footing. That way, you might know better what you're dealing with.
Do you have any idea where my father might be? I feel that he has information that would be of great value.
Your father certainly knew very much about Melisandus, probably one of the most knowledgeable people, humans, I guess I should say, and as was Algorth, as they had faced her down once before.
Also, because that was his mother-in-law, right?
Unfortunately.
I have heard that it's impossible to choose family. It just kind of comes with the package.
Let's not forget the camp that we found. There's a lot of leads there. that
Yeah.
we weren't able to follow up.
Last we saw, it looked like the two of them had been captured.
We have a heading, at the very least.
So, into the city then? To our house?
Your house.
How will we get there?
We do the pump station. That helps long term and get us further in than popping up at the outskirts like last time.
Yes.
I can. Do you know where it's at roughly?
Yes, it's near the cathedral. It's to like the east of the cathedral.
Right off the bay.
What?
Right off the bay.
Yeah, right off the bay.
So you would see her like kind of, like she was still really tense and nervous, but she kind of thought it over for a minute and we're nodding and being like, I can get us there.
Excellent. All right.
We'll travel mostly by the sewers. That'd be the safer option. We have to be careful once we go above ground, though. That's not the safest area.
There's
There are multiple
Depends where we go.
there. It's near the cathedral in general, so that's not really a great thing.
I mean, there's no great options.
Walking straight to the city.
I'm not so sure anymore. They're down here, they're down here. Of course, anything that'll fit down here, I think we might be able to handle.
Well, we already had one encounter with those things that we saw there, so those could fit down here, could they not?
But the perfected,
Yeah.
they wouldn't come down here.
No.
So then the sewers, at least we're familiar with them.
Yes. Persigalis, is there any information you can give us about the information that we're trying to find? Like, and Vaughn, if you could help, that would be amazing. You're always writing things down and...
There's like a small lag between
Yeah.
like what you're asking, like
Yeah.
the reminder that, oh yes, books are amazing.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, right? Books, so good. So not evil most of the time, sometimes, occasionally.
Knowledge is not inherently good or evil. It's how it's used. And it just kind of
Books are bad.
opens it up. And
Yeah.
he scrawled down
Hot take.
most of
Yeah.
everything that's happened, and he like holds on to it for a second before he takes it because he's also scrawled down everything that's been going on with him.
We handed it to Versagallis.
Yes, I do.
He takes it and his fingers move very quickly to the pages, flipping them super fast. And he folds it back up and
It's like a speed reading course, I see.
hands it back over to you on that.
And there was like a knowing wait as he was hoping that he would read everything.
I glimpsed
Detailed notes, everything that's transpired since we've begun this adventure. Yes.
yes, but I had glimpsed your acquisition of powers. I did not know exactly what deal you struck. That was
You and me
information.
both, Persigalis.
Yes, that is not my realm. I do apologize, and I wish you well with that bond.
You don't know a guy as well connected as you are.
It's all right.
You know,
I didn't
again,
expect help.
I apologize that you all feel that I am not forthright with you. I've been trying to make up for what you feel that I was lying to you and deceiving you about. If I have anything that can aid you, I am definitely trying to do so. But I have to be very sparing with the abilities that I have and what I do. And again, the nature of what afflicts you is beyond myself. But I can tell you, Vaughn, you'll find what you're looking for at the cathedral.
I've had dreams about it.
Persigalis, I'm afraid that it might find me before we get to the cathedral.
We should go all over on the way to her house.
One-stop shop. Yeah, this
Yep.
is so efficient. Yeah, just great.
again, I would recommend that you attend to your affairs, Anna, first. I do believe that would be a greater key for you all to understand what's happening.
All right.
To that.
Al's going to politely excuse himself in this conversation, and he'd like to head back into where the Alpha Mother is.
You can see that she's laying down there resting, and as you step through the curtain, she looks over, and you can notice, one of the things that you definitely do notice is that there was only one guard outside of her curtains, not the normal procession of guards that would be out there.
If it looks like she's resting, he'll leave, but if it looks like she's awake, he wants to speak with her.
She turns and looks at you and, come closer, child.
He's going to make his way up and like get down on one knee and kneel down and kind of bow his head in front of her. He feels a remarkable guilt.
Your shoulders are very burdened. How may I help you?
I came here to apologize.
Apologize.
When we left, we spoke of the deal, the agreement that had been struck between the sovereigns and your people. And I want to apologize for not being able to uphold my end of the bargain.
What happened to us was a betrayal from inside our hive, and not you, Vaughn. I should have addressed it. I wanted to hold out faith that the old ways were what they were, and I was wrong. This is not yours.
I'm not looking to take on this burden. I simply wanted to express, I'm sorry we're not here to assist and help. I'm sorry for your losses.
Cannot be everywhere at once. I have a feeling you might have been addressing something equally as terrible while you were gone.
It seems any way we look, there's something else waiting for us.
But did you not at least vanquish a bit of evil?
A piece of a much larger whole, but yes.
But a piece nonetheless. And every time you take a piece, there's less and less of that mountain to climb, isn't there?
I guess we'll see once we make it to the top, won't we?
I would love to see you at the top.
Who else is like attending to the Alpha Mother?
Right now, she's just in here sleeping with the guards sitting out there. There seems to be a lot of what look to be more senior tier kobolds missing. You see a great deal. Most of the survivors appear to be the younger ones, the children, not mature, where a goodly amount of the adults are missing. Can you look out?
I'm sure that she's got other people to look after her, but like no other conversation. It's, I'm just gonna like sit there with her, guest in a hospital room, providing company.
And she's holding your hand, and a little bit of time passes, and you can see she's dozed off again.
Creep out of there, I guess. Yeah, right.
Radiohead starts playing.
Yeah.
All right.
I was thinking Lonely Islands, but that's better. That's better.
I'm almost afraid which song that is in reference to. Apparently, I'm not tracking the same one as you think that comes
Do
to
the
mind.
creep?
Nope, that's not the first one that pops in my mind with them. Anyway, driving forward.
Anna,
Yes.
yep. Do you think we can head out immediately? Do you know where we're going?
Yes. Yeah.
So the plan is we reset the pump with Skeech and then immediately head
Yes.
to your home.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready for that?
Yeah.
It's okay if you're not.
Sure. I mean, is there any other? It seems like there's no other option.
There isn't, but
Yeah.
I mean, like emotionally, mentally,
physically, I'm definitely
want
ready.
to talk about it on
yeah.
the way.
Yeah, we can talk about it on the way. Yeah. I just, going home again for the first time. Not how I imagined. Well, I imagined never doing it. So, yeah, we can just talk. We'll talk as we walk. Yeah. Yeah.
If you take them to the sewers all the way over to the pump station, because again, the levers aren't there any longer.
She's not.
Darn right they are.
I will say.
Not one forever.
She will, but
I
she's
have
not
materializes.
talking at all the whole time. She's just. dead silent.
The trek through the tunnels is, I wouldn't say done in silence because there's echoes. You can hear drops of water and things along those lines. But there certainly isn't that upbeat, chipper nature from Yip Yip. You all come to one of the drainage ports to the pump station. You can look out. It's that platform where you all were, where you had taken out that massive creature at the base of that. And looking up, you can see that there's a catwalk that leads over to it. And from behind you, you hear this large rustling sound as the
Let's go again.
as
Yeah.
in the base area there where the water was begins to shake and rise up, and something begins to step up and out of the water.
Yeah.
That's not the water, but out of the pools of water in the debris there. And Steve goes,
I put down the ball.
and Steve goes over and grabs Reverend and gives him this big, giant, squishy, nasty
Oh,
hug.
no.
And
Mucus
goes,
on my new coat.
slurp, slurp. And her eyes are rolling around and continues. And then drops down to her knees and.
Can you, Mary, could you give me a hand here?
Alright, yeah.
Oh my god.
I cast tongues on
What? Is that the
Reverend.
best idea right now?
Why?
We're about to go up there. I don't know how taxing that is on you.
Yeah, can Steve not just understand your mannerisms at this point?
You guys seem so attuned
Yeah.
to each other. Yeah.
Just get
Alright, well-
multiple,
Yeah.
loud, quiet, medium.
You come with us.
Oh god.
Well,
Steve stops doing that and stands back up again and pulls that nasty looking blade from off of her shoulders and stands next to Reverend, holding both sections of the blade itself.
or do we
in a
want
nasty grip.
do we want her to just like, do you want her to come with us, or?
I'm pretty sure it's gonna freeze to death up there.
Can she help the kobolds? They're low on numbers at the moment.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Worried that
That's okay. They're being betrayed from within. It doesn't matter if it's outside.
what if she just defends the waterways from orcs and things, like just be on patrol.
How do you tell her that if you can't talk to her though?
Going back to your information that you had rolled, that very successful roll on back there, Vaughn, you know that these things live in frigid Arctic waters where this particular one comes from, hence the blue coloration on them.
Yes, but I want to see how this plays out.
Can't argue that.
Skeech, do you have any like orc skulls or something in your bag?
Orc skulls? Never killed an orc. I got a person skull.
First time for everything. Oh, well, wait. No, hold on. I think Steve should come with us.
They're more suited for the weather than one might think. Typically from the northern reaches.
Listen, we know the friends we can get. And,
Yeah.
what's
Extra
even
body
better than a
combat.
friend but a follower?
Wow.
Interesting insight into your rankings. Yes,
I
let's
said the
go.
quiet part out loud.
I was trying to be subtle, but I guess that didn't translate very well. That thing's loud,
Oh.
and if it... I'm sorry, I know. It's...
What did you say to me?
I haven't said anything to you yet.
As far as you can tell, Steve
Young
looks
man.
super happy right now.
Oh!
He's standing next to Reverend.
This could be a distraction.
Yeah, for all of us.
All right, well,
It's your call, but I just need you to hold the light still while I install this. Hold the light still.
oh, you want me to hold the flashlight for a day?
If we want her, I can keep her quiet.
Not like that.
Skeech does bring up a good point.
I'm holding it as still as I can, Dad.
All right,
I can hold it for you.
Steve,
Let me come to you.
Probably about time to try to drink.
come with us. We fight in the honor of the one God.
There's just a super happy look on Steve's face right now. The tongue's kind of hanging out, mouth is closed on it, eyes are rolling sideways.
All right.
It's just amazing. How, yeah. Love communication and bond. Yeah.
All right, here I'm holding. Now I'm holding the light over your
I'm gonna
work
like
there.
adjust your hand like this. No. Yes. No again.
Into the pump station you all go. Over to where
Some rack
Skeech has,
straps for that.
where Skeech knows where this piece goes into, and
Yeah.
Reverend's
That's not going over.
holding holding the light over Skeech. Skeech basically tells him he's doing it wrong the whole time as he's installing it.
No, you're doing it right. You are. It's me. My eyes are. Oh yeah. There we go.
Put the goggles on, and clicks into place, and looks like it's good to go. You're gonna pull the lever there, Skeech.
Oh, the lever.
No, I'm not really sure. This Vaughn, you spent a long time studying this. Could you,
You see Bond looking up where the elevator is. Never forget. Yes. What do you need exactly? It looked like he was looking at something
turn
else.
it on?
You want me to turn this, to spin this?
I can't read whatever any of this says, so I'll start flipping things, but it's your fault if you don't do it.
And he goes to start doing it as he's mumbling to himself. I'm pretty sure no matter what I do, it's my fault.
I don't correct him.
As Vaughn turns the lever, it's quiet for a few moments, and you kind of think that nothing is going to happen. And then you hear this clanging, kind of banging sound, and these rushing sounds from the pipes, and a lot of the pipes begin shaking, and the platform you're on begins shaking. And then
This is good.
there's this huge bang sound.
Oh, we
and
are sure this is good.
and then everything starts to hum really nicely as far as the machinery goes.
Yeah.
There's a couple parts that fall off of something over there, but it looks like it's doing all right. And down below, you can see the water that was pulled up in here begins to swirl at the base, and the water level is greatly reduced inside the pit here, like by even half the volume that it was. So it does appear to be working all right at this point.
Fantastic.
And given the amount of accumulated water that reaches this now, because again, the sewers themselves are basically empty, there's just a small trickle of water, but it's all those small trickles that are meeting in one place here and
I'll
dumping into
guarantee
the
that
pit.
part for 3 days. Past that, it's out of warranty.
Is labor covered during those 3 days, or is it just the part?
Well, it's the first time you've talked about my labor, but I put in a lot of work.
That's true, you
last
do,
year.
Skeech. We really appreciate it. Overtime, yeah.
Great job, Sir Skeech.
Are we
He
ready
like
to start?
pauses at the Sir Skeech.
Thank you, Mary.
We're ready to start moving then.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell you, eager to get inside the city echo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. On your priority list, finding that shaman. I'm gonna like
Set on a metric scale.
go
Grew 2 inches.
I'm
just to
gonna-
get there. Yeah.
lean into Yip and quietly say, I know this. I'm trying to come from a good place here, but I have some experience in the field. You want help tracking him down.
Now it's not the time.
Yeah, after. Once we get.
And maybe trying to find someplace else available.
Doesn't kind of come back.
Oh, after we're done with him, I'd be surprised if any piece of that would come back. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
So anyone doesn't try to come back.
Yeah.
Are kobolds, would your people be opposed to living on the surface?
Would they?
You seem like you're faring well.
No sun sensitivity or
Nosebleeds.
Nosebleeds?
blindness, none of that.
Yeah.
Sunburns.
But that's some.
Burned from the sun.
Let's break them. pretty accurate, actually.
Whoa.
Something right there.
Would the kobolds be able to live on the surface? Just relatively fine?
Mostly, you guys live subterranean lives because that's very protected. I mean, what type of, are you talking about taking them to the garrison tower? Or,
I don't say. I just asked that as a simple question.
We could build a second tower next to the tower.
Ooh.
Up below.
I mean,
The
a
basement.
twin tower.
The basement is
Oh,
clear.
no.
No, let's not.
Sorry. We mostly live
I can't.
underground because it's safer for us,
The basement's clear. You
but
could just dig.
very clearly are not very safe right now.
But if we accomplish what we're setting out to do, then theoretically the surface world should be safer than anywhere.
If we accomplish all of what we've set out to do, we can make a home for the kobolds wherever they
Whatever you
want.
want.
We're having this conversation as we're getting onto the elevator.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
this time it's
30
much
minutes
easier.
in the elevator.
You guys pull the lever, it comes down, step on the elevator, pull the next one, it rises back up as you're having your conversation, and up to the top, you all have gotten in the pump station itself proper, which is at the surface of the city. Were you going to use the streets to maneuver from here or go back down?
I was gonna recommend we go through the sewers until we get close.
Yeah,
as far
but
as
it's good we tested the elevator just to make sure.
yeah, I was gonna be like, why are we going? Like, poor Yip Yip's like, why are we going this way?
It's cool.
My thought,
It's cool.
my thought was if we go to another sewer entrance from here, maybe we could get around one of the blockades.
Oh.
That's
That's
what I
what we were
thought
also
doing.
Yeah, that's
Right.
yeah.
We did
that
come
was
up
the
from the
plan.
manhole the first time.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
There were a few blockades, weren't there? Still.
Pass with almost no trace. There's some trace this time.
All right. So I think what
Yeah,
you're looking to do is
Steve,
go back
not
to
me.
the point where you had come out of the first time to come here, past the barricades, and then use the sewers to move her closer to where you speculate on his plates might be.
I believe
Yeah,
that's the
yeah, that's the
plan.
plan. Yep.
Unless that's like an unnecessary backtrack and we like could posit that there's probably another entrance to the sewer in the correct direction, like nearby, like every, I don't know, block or so.
Okay.
Yeah. Or with Yip Yips.
I mean,
Right.
I should
Yeah.
probably know where the closest entrance is.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure that we're on the same page before I begin moving forward on that. By the way,
We
I
make the right choice.
Yeah.
I remember the last
For the
time
right
that we
choices,
were
that's what we do.
dealing with the,
Yeah.
with the pump station here. There's a habit of confusion on descriptions, so I want
We
to
want
make
to get
sure,
away
you
from
know.
the pump
we-
station.
Yeah. Which is,
So as you-
And at Anna's house. we
yeah.
did it.
So as you all step out of the pump station to look out to the streets there, the snow that we had talked about before is several feet because there have been several fronts that have moved through. It's about 3 feet deep, which to most of you is coming up to about your waist.
That's
For
it,
some of you, that is
isn't it?
taller than you actually are. The temperature has dropped tremendously. It is definitely well below zero, not zero, but well below freezing at this
Oh
point.
my god.
So
Would we have been able to procure snowshoes from people in the tower or create them ourselves?
nobody said that when I had asked. I was asking what precautions people were making. So no, nobody has snowshoes currently.
Well, if you give me 30 minutes, I brought so much silk.
This is true, and I do
Spider legs. Yeah.
look out, looking into the snow. There's something very odd in the snow, and it takes you a bit of time to try to figure out what it is. Anybody want to do a nature check to reference information?
I cannot.
Not me.
There's no way I can see above what everybody else is
see it the
seeing.
best.
I can snow.
Roll above 10
Now,
on one
what
of these
if-
episodes.
Is
Hang
it
on.
anything?
Yeah.
What if I used my handy dandy nice little coin that you just gave me to aid
If
the
you eat it,
nature?
you would get a D4 added to that.
Oh.
Would you?
Go for it.
Thank you.
Damon has
But you have to eat it.
Yeah.
I'll eat it.
That's a lot.
Oh, wait. Okay, here I got a.
We all start munching.
Yeah.
I'll use mine before you use
Okay.
yours.
All right.
So I had another D4 to that.
I was actually gonna ask if I could roll myself
You can
for
also
the
roll
sole
as well.
reason of she's kind of used to the city.
Is there any way you
Let's
can
know.
see above the snow, though?
All right,
Someone can
so
lift me up.
I got a 12
You're
total.
with me.
12 total.
Or
Okay.
so 13.
13.
So much chocolate.
You haven't exited the pump station. You've come out onto the edge of the pump station and you're looking out at the snow, and this is where you notice these strange marks in the snow.
Strange mark.
Yeah, there are a staggered set of depressions in the snow. Each one is easily 20, 25 feet in length and about 14 feet wide. It looks like the snow has been crushed down, and they stagger back and forth, running down the length of the street that you can see.
I will point out the giant marks to Yip Yip.
They are rectangular and very, very straight geometric patterns. There's not a lot of organic bends and twists to them.
I
Next
can.
up, Big is just come by and stamp the snow.
Would Yip Yip know what this is?
You've never seen anything like that.
I don't like it.
Would I
Really?
have in my time in the city?
No, neither of you have seen that.
That's new.
Yeah, that's not a good thing.
Maybe that's just how snow works here.
No, it isn't. It looks really mechanical, though. Do you think it could be?
I'm making shoes, okay? I don't know.
Okay.
Don't bother me.
It's up to you.
30 minutes later, and Skeech has whipped up some very nice snowshoes for you all.
Aw,
Beautiful.
So nice.
These will last for 3 days.
Yeah, we know. Then the warranty runs out.
Right.
Vaughn, do you recognize anything of this description?
To my knowledge, I don't recognize this.
I mean, at this point, I think just my standard assumption is that it's some horrifying monster. Anything that we don't know about in this city, probably horrifying monster. So,
Yeah, checks out. Yeah,
that's
yeah,
just
we'll go with that.
that's just the default at this point.
Well, do you want the good news or the bad news about that?
Bad news first, always.
Oh,
Sure.
yes, 100%. This whole city is just terrifying monsters.
Do you think it could do with the Forge Master, maybe?
That's the good news. Is we might know what it is, and monsters don't like each other either.
Oh,
So,
It's good.
well,
that's great.
you'd think.
Oh,
Echo, it's like you were saying something about the food chain. Well, we
It's actually more of a food web.
Well, there's no more web in the basement. Point being, we're in it now.
We're in the web.
And we're not at the top.
Well, not currently. It's based on your sections in the city. You're gonna have different apex things.
Actually, knowing that before we go into each section could be helpful, because then we know where to set traps and where to avoid them.
Right.
If we know what they're looking for food, we know where to stay out of.
Oh, it's everything. Because it's not just food. You have to understand. After these fights, we saw the Perfected walking around. They'll clean up. Well, I say clean up. They'll take anything that's left.
ooh.
And, yeah. But if we see gnolls moving around, it's a good sign that it's just the gnolls. Because they don't really work with anybody. That's a good sign. As best as we can hope, the orcs and goblins kind of go together. But
Oh,
anything bigger than that is worrying.
given the fact that Anna's house is around the cathedral,
In the bay, yes, yep.
probably
Bay
the
Area,
corrupted.
Yeah.
On the bright side, not a lot of different things to worry about.
Great.
Still not a lot of good things.
Well, yeah, that's the bad side. Is it's a lot of one kind of thing.
Let me give you some good news. Don't forget, keep faith. As we walk with the power of the one God behind us, walk in His light, and we will be triumphant.
Don't get arrogant about it. We still have to be on our toes at all times.
Of course, but
Having the backing of a deity doesn't stop you from being destroyed by the brutality of nature.
That's true. Or rugs, you know? Like,
that was before I saw the light
These shoes are working pretty well.
because it was dark inside of the rug.
As you all continue to have your playful banter back
I
and
was
forth.
gonna say we should probably get going.
I assumed we were walking and talking.
Yeah, I was saying we were walking or talking.
Scrunch, scrunch, scrunch.
Again, you pass through the snow. The snow in those pressed down areas is crushed so much it's actually sheets of ice in there. So whatever it was had a tremendous amount of weight that stepped into that. And again, as you're looking at, you can definitely see this is
4 snow booties.
tracks. It looks like footsteps at this point. And you reach the next sewer entrance, and down into the sewers you backtrack at this point. Take it, Skeech. Everybody takes the shoes off and kind of puts them on their back as you trek over.
Yes, as we were walking though, I want to be like sweeping behind us just to kind of obscure our tracks.
Oh,
What tracks?
Oh,
Pass with
pass with
some
very little trace. Yeah, and
The ones that got through.
yeah, the modicum of tracing. Oh, never mind. I'm sorry to impugn your work. Nothing. I'm sure it's fine.
You go to sweep him, and Echo just goes, "I got it."
and it's just
Little
a guy's
wink.
tail going.
Yeah. That's canon. That's canon.
You got one of the snowshoes on the tail, and it's just going back and forth. I take it.
That's how the spell
It's
works.
the end of a breed.
Yep. I love
So
that.
Yip Yip begins leading you all through the sewer system once again, until you get to a section of the city, and there's several points in time where she has you skirt over to one side of the sewer, and there is these massive hunks of granite that are punctuated through this street and into the sewer. At points you actually have to press underneath one to get to a different area, and finally she leads you to one hunk of rock that is actually crushed onto the sewerway, prevents any movement forward. But the jagged nature of the rock that has been torn out from the mesa presents a bunch of nice handholds as it leads up. You can look to the city above you. And we're going to take a short break. And when we come back here, we will pick up and see what our heroes find on the surface of the city. So don't go anywhere. We'll see you here in a little bit. And welcome back.
And we're live.
And we're live. This is very true. So as we had last left off, there's Yip Yip has led you to the endpoint as far as her ability to move further in the tunnels. In front of you is a large hunk of granite that at one point in time must have been connected to the mesa itself, probably during the night that happened, the explosion. Her must have hurled this piece here, but the actual size of it is a tad bit obscured. Again, above you, you can see there is an opening. You can see some of the gray sky above and feel the cold draft that comes down from that. And Yip Yip kind of puts her hands on the rock and begins climbing up.
Wait. I'll pull out more rope.
Everybody, there should be a small loop on the left side of your belts. After Echo's plan of us all holding hands last time we went through here, and then everybody wanted to use their hands, I figured
That's right.
we might need this
Wow.
Skeech, wow.
What do you call it?
rope.
Oh.
I'm sorry, a friend attachment device.
Oh, I prefer the simple word.
That's
It's not.
It's the FAD.
Yeah.
All right, with your fads in place,
Wait, is there a way we can make fetch happen?
Stop trying.
Right.
all right.
Still learning acronyms.
Yip Yip, do you lead them up to the top first? Mm-hmm. All right. Rest of you ascend to the top. At this point, you have reached where the surface of the street is, and you are inside what must at one point in time been a butcher shop. You could tell, obviously, by the display cases and things along those lines that they're in here, the tables and such. But most of what was salvageable has been pulled out of here. The two-story building itself, a large chunk of it is completely eradicated by that hunk of granite. Like half the building itself is completely replaced by it. And it's at this point in time you actually get a sense of size of this piece of rock. And it is absolutely massive. I mean, guessing the sheer tonnage of this thing, it has to be in excess of over 100 tons worth of granite that has been hurled from the mesa, which you can kind of see through the windows off in the distance. And the personal belongings of the homeowners and stuff have tumbled down from the second story and scattered about here. Looking out the window, you can see the wind is picked up out there, and some of the light snow is blowing, kind of moving about. But it's not really snowing, not adding anything different, but any of the loose snow is being pushed about. It is certainly below freezing again. And aside from the wind itself and the gouts of vapor coming out of your mouth as you all breathe, there's nothing else really happening in the streets here.
Can I put my ear to the ground and just see if I can hear any loud footsteps or anything like that?
Absolutely.
Uh,
Do you need to
Is
borrow
it,
some of my dice?
if you're using hearing, you can do it with Sky and get it with advantage.
perfect. No, they gotta roll well.
You can do it.
Oh my gosh!
Get this
I rolled
man
the
some
same
chocolate.
thing twice.
No,
Uh,
no.
That's a 10 with
That is a
4
10.
on the die.
With a fantastic.
Ooh,
So,
get them out now. Just get them out. Yeah.
I've been getting them out for this campaign.
And
go.
hit a new dice.
so you don't hear anything. Don't feel any vibrations. All you really hear again is the wind as it picks up, almost like a dragon's breath moving through, and then it fades out again, then picks up again, and that's about it.
Okay. Seems like nothing's immediately in our proximity.
Well, that's good.
For now.
All right. You said it was on what side? Of the cathedral?
By the bay.
Okay.
So roughly where your house had sat back in the day when you remember, it is towards technically what is the eastern side of the city.
Yes.
More towards the midway point along there. So as you step out into the street here, you recognize this butcher shop. And you recognize this area. It's not that far from where your father's warehouse was.
Oh.
Which means your house isn't that far away from here. Multiple blocks over, but certainly within walking distance from where you are.
Oh, good. We're close. Well done. Yep. Yeah.
Okay. Stay quiet still, because we are still pretty close to the cathedral. We want to be very careful. Okay? Okay.
You are feeling a little bit better, given the proximity that she's describing where this house would be.
Yeah.
Puts you further from the cathedral than you thought.
Yes.
Still be quiet, though.
Yes. You're still within close enough proximity that you're not that comfortable, but it's fortunately further away than you thought she was initially describing. Hers looks to be towards the end of the posh district, shall we say.
Yes. Well, you know.
What does it look like?
Very fancy. I mean, it was perfect. It was modest. It was
Defining
appropriate. Lots of windows. Most of a block.
Two-story, made out of granite.
Two-story, made out of
large,
granite, large. You know.
reinforced fence around the exterior, iron gates.
Room for a pony in back. Yeah.
I'm assuming that's just very vague in general.
There are multiple houses along here that you could think of that might be like that.
Everybody had ponies.
Yeah. Everybody. I mean, it was just sort of a
I can
rite
lead us to the
passage.
general area, but
Yeah.
know that things have changed here. Let's go.
Are you directing towards the warehouse or the house?
Towards the house first, I think. How close are we to the warehouse?
From where you are right now,
Yeah.
it wouldn't be that hard to get to the warehouse on the way to the house.
I guess let's do that then. Yeah. Let's just
Seems to
pop
make
on by.
sense.
Yeah.
Efficiency.
We're all about efficiency. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. As you guys are moving through the streets itself,
Yeah.
this area here is a lot of collapsed buildings. Again, you can see large chunks of the granite that have hurled and blasted through and knocking structures over. There is lots of wreckage in the streets from when the panic ensued and people were trying to escape, and also the slaughter that commenced about the same time when the creatures had rushed up and out of the sewers. Yes, this was over a decade ago, and there's been lots of time and weather affecting this area, but you can still see the scars of that evening, even underneath the snow and such. And as you all are moving towards where you believe the warehouse is, you come out to the edge of a plaza where you see the front of your father's warehouse itself, being that he was quite a commodities trader, particularly focusing in high-end trade goods for homes and such. This area here, there are several different warehouses itself, and you can see a small little trader's bazaar that was set up out in front of it. And looking over, you can see that there is something going on in the bazaar itself. There is a pack of gnolls And with the pack of gnolls is also a group of goblins. And the gnolls and the goblins seem very focused on something that's a little bit past them at this point. And there's some that yipping and snarling, that those dog kind of sounds that they make. And the goblins are arguing back at the gnolls, which Skeech, you would be very surprised that the goblins would be arguing back against the gnolls. Gnolls either spend a good time eating the goblins or capture goblins to serve them, not on an equal par. And then you see, just up from them, are several definitely undead. You've never seen something exactly like them. They are large, bloated bodies. The stomach extends in a very bulbous, round configuration, but also strange polyps and whelps in the side. The necks are all bulged out. The head is almost sunk into the shoulders themselves. And they're standing very inert, but they seem to be blocking where the gnolls look to go. And you can also see around from the other side, they are also blocking that direction. Looks like the gnolls don't have a whole lot of places to go. And the intensity of the conversation begins to pick up. And the pack leader of the gnolls grabs the goblin, picks him up, and hurls him at one of the zombies. And it strikes the zombie, and for a second, nothing seems to happen. And then the zombie begins to basically boil, and then it explodes.
Oh, no.
Basically incinerates the goblin as well. And then the rest of the gnolls begin yarping and grabbing goblins and hurling them towards the zombies to clear those out.
I'll cover Skeech's eyes.
All this seems quite a ruckus at this point. And when things calm down, the rest of the goblins seem to be very subdued to the gnolls. And they begin spreading out across the bazaar. And as they do so, you can see several of the goblins are moving in your direction. They don't appear to be trying to search as much as they appear to be trying to put some distance between themselves and the gnolls.
Yeah, let's hide. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Back up, let's back up.
We are hiding.
We're hiding.
Oh,
Wait.
What?
I might be able to find out what's going on.
With a natural 20, they look over and spot the vapor from where you all are just exhaling at this point. And several of the goblins turn around and yell something in dark speak towards the gnolls.
Now,
Yes.
we could have that happen.
This is it.
Or
This is
we
it.
could make them not see us right now. And you could have the mystery box.
Interesting.
Oh.
I was sitting here wondering what that stupid box
But that's your call as the DM.
Yeah.
So,
It's awfully tempting.
are we
though.
trying to bribe the DM? Is that what I'm...
Alleged.
Strong word.
It's not
roll for
bribery.
persuasion.
It's this is here.
Yeah.
And you
But
can
it-
have it
Yeah.
if this occurs. Mm-hmm. Or more aptly doesn't. So that's it's here.
Yeah.
It's
A little
here.
bit of a squid trade
I mean, that paper needs to be.
Yeah.
It's a pretty big box.
But
It's a pretty big
I mean,
box.
Look at that cute wrapping
And the
paper.
pandas.
Don't you just
I
want
don't
to
trust
rip it up?
pandas.
That's
then
fair.
rip them
My
and
feet.
get inside the box.
Exactly.
Win-win.
Yeah.
So that I mean
Yeah.
that's up to
Cute
it's
aggression.
Here. It's here.
What do they
and
even do?
Maybe we just don't know what's in it.
Yeah, but how much longer is it going to be here? You got to take this off.
Oh, that's true.
What if I gave you an opportunity to talk to the goblins before they yelled?
I mean that's kind of what I was leading into.
Oh,
What do we do
okay.
with the box now?
Well, let's see what's in the box.
Okay, well, why don't you take the box? If we could have some magic hands come over
Just
here
gonna trade offers.
I can be bribed.
Binding.
and no take backsies.
No take taxi.
So,
I've been waiting
feel like
for
that,
so
that,
long.
that Price is Right thing, where you chose the wrong door. You're like, really?
Yeah.
He got a car and I got like
There's
a
no
scooter.
cars here.
It's
Not like
actually,
a glitter bomb
Scooter.
of it.
it's actually a mimic.
On the bright side, you get to keep the box.
Oh, sweet.
Wow.
I get to keep the box.
Is it a glitter ball?
Why don't we just see?
Yeah.
I don't like that response. Please don't cover the
Now,
studio.
there are activities in there for you.
Enrichment, if you
Yes,
will.
there is.
Oh, wow. My own color. Oh, wow. Is it like the magic thing where you put the
Show
little...
the class.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got a giant, I believe, having a good time. I know this one's definitely a beholder.
Aww.
And I think
coloring paper.
that's an Etten. I think we were talking about that earlier today.
Isn't that just...
That's really
That
cute.
is just
Aww.
nightmare
That was
fuel.
sweet.
That is, I will, wow. And you gave me crowns? Really?
You needed to color with something.
Yeah, you
Wow,
got everything
crowns.
you need right there. Yeah.
You know, that is about the limit of my art capability right there. In Play-Doh,
They're a
Yeah,
sophisticated
yeah.
medium. Yeah.
if I only had a safe space with this, I would be complete.
Well, in case we run into any slimes or anything, you could just be like, well, actually.
Yeah.
And Hero's Potion of Power.
Yeah, that's for you.
That is,
Energy.
I told you there was liquid.
that is, you did not lie. It is,
An energy
I believe there's a donut in here as well.
That is a little fidget toy for the DM.
For when you're nervous and
Yeah.
we're kicking butt, you know.
Yeah.
It's a bagel. It's an
It is a
everything
bagel. You're with cream cheese apparently in the center as well. And
Like a box of anything.
it
is.
yes, it looks to be a tad bit magnetic, I believe. Yes, it's being repulsed by my regular magnets.
There you go.
And
It'll go on the bag.
air pop.
Yeah.
Okay,
Nice.
so
Yeah.
yeah,
Favorite.
Yeah.
No take backs.
Yeah.
no take back. So
Do
Skeech,
you want to try again with what's happening with those goblins?
the goblin looks up, very surprised at you being there, especially with the humans and the kobold that's about you. And he
Be chill, be chill.
speaks to you in Darkspeak. And what are you doing?
I can't understand what you say. Well, I've got all these with me.
And it's a little bit of a softer tone now that it's natural from Skeech.
I've got these with me right now. We were passing through.
Are you bringing them to one of the sires, or
Yeah, they go where I want.
they go where you?
So
It's not wrong.
How did you convince them? How did you?
I look over at Yip Yip, and I like motion to like do what I do, and I press the digitation, a pair of handcuffs onto me and 3 other people.
well, you see, I'm the only one here who can make bombs.
He took us prisoner. He taught all of us. He's very minded. Oh,
And I'm gonna kick him. Oh. And I mean it.
Don't know what that is.
I look over at Steve like Steve.
It's very attached to the shiny one, like your fish. And point being, what are you doing with the gnolls? Why haven't they eaten you?
Well, they ate our clan leader, and then they just blew up our other leader, and several of us were actually kind of scared at this point, I do believe. So yeah, why don't you bring him over to the Knolls here, and then like we can all get a reward.
How many gnolls are there?
You can see 6.
I got a better idea. Why don't you put me in charge? I hear the openings there.
What is your persuasion?
I whisper, Skeech, go with the one God. I give him inspiration.
Yes.
Ooh, it's a D8. Ooh, that
Oh yeah, they're D8s now.
Since they are goblins and I'm a goblin, could I argue for advantage for this roll? Since I've proven that I'm very capable, I've got all of
They're
these.
looking for leadership.
That I'm the only person
Yeah.
who captured all of these.
He is the strongest carrier.
It's true.
To really drive this home, because I can understand everything Skeech is saying.
Same here.
If there's anything that I could have that is like shows depth, I'm gonna like bring a bit of snack over to Skeech, present it over.
Since your party is assisting you in this, I will give
Dab
you
your-
advantage on that. which I will regret, undoubtedly.
So, it's got to be persuasion.
It need to be persuasion.
How about 23?
Yes.
I was assuming he was pulling my leg on that. So yes, the goblins look at you. They're like, "You want to be the leader?"
No, I am.
This guy gets it.
And I'm gonna reach into my jacket and pull out a bomb. And then I reach out and pull a second one.
Got 2 hits.
Well, what do you do with those?
This. And I huck one at the closest knoll.
Can I ask one quick question?
Yes.
How long did it
About
take
to
the
get real.
zombie to explode, like
Oh, yeah.
seconds wise?
Within the same melee round, if you strike it, it will be exploding.
Oh my. Okay.
Nice. Good to know. Good to know. Good to know.
All
They
right.
have a 6-second timer.
Wow.
So, it seems to vary, but within the same melee round. All right.
Oh.
So you huck it at the.
The closest knoll.
Oh my goodness. So I'm going to assume from where you all are
The main
back here in this
character,
alleyway,
the bar at the top of the
this guy,
It's guard the
that one,
destroyer.
which between them, that one there.
Oh, good,
Okay.
good. They're within 15 feet of each other.
Can we create a chain reaction? That's what I'm curious on.
That is fantastic. Okay, so the gnolls are not expecting what's going on.
So that's a surprise.
That would be a surprise attack. I believe that lets you roll it with advantage.
What a condition they got going on.
So 17.
A 17 would strike that gnoll.
Lovely. So I need everything with the. Is there a goblin within 15
yes.
feet of that knoll?
Multiple goblins within.
Well, one of them, I'll say the closest one, will not be having to make a dexterity saving throw. The others will.
Sorry, Gabi.
And
of
the
you might
knoll
die.
will take 9 fire damage, or 12 fire damage.
Does
And
he have a
with
s-
with
he-
my bonus action, I get to make another bomb attack.
is there a save involved in it, or is that just he takes it?
Oh, he takes it, and everything around it has to make the save.
Okay. So
And for the second,
Let's-
that is
let's resolve
Okay.
the first bomb first. So we're going to say that the little guy here does not take the damage, which means he needs to save. He needs to save. He needs to save. 5 saves. Oof, what is our save DC on that?
save DC is going to be 14.
14 dex?
Yep.
Okay, no. Yes, no. Yes, no. So 2 of them save.
Okay. If they save, they take no damage.
All right, so him
And if they fail,
and
they take
him save, and then the other which hold on, how many do I have? This little circle. Okay, so did not save, did save, did not save, did save, did not save.
Did not hit.
So
I did not.
fantastic. And the ones that did not save take how much damage? The full.
They'll take half.
They'll
So
take half
6.
All right. The explosion goes off. Now, does it have any knockdown effect or anything else along those lines? All right. Now, let's look at the second one.
Oh, that was a natural 20. So they're going to take, the knoll takes 23 additional fire damage. And I need that same save again.
He's vulnerable to bomb.
Yes, yes.
Bombs. My only weakness.
Yes.
Nobody,
So 3
nobody blows up
saves.
goblins with me.
Let me show you that.
Nope.
I don't need no zombie.
All right.
May
So
the one God bless you.
let us go ahead and,
also with
remove the Knoll center, please.
It's old school.
And the 2 goblins.
And there's just a ton of
Yep.
anger in Skeech's face as he hucking these at the knolls.
All right. So your 2 bombs go off and completely destroy the one of the gnolls. The main one there was both of them hit him. The first one, he seems very agitated. His eyes get large. His fur is singed. It's the second one that strikes him and goes off right in front of him, where he just comes apart from the shockwave and the fire And then the other 2 goblins are also gone as well. The other gnolls, on the first round, they do them suffer some damage. And right now, there's a bit of chaos currently going on over there. And
I'm going to scream in dark speech.
Lost 2 goblins.
Now, get him!
Yeah.
it is initiative.
All right.
Let us begin our roll off for
There
that.
was a time to roll hide.
Just trying to get a better look at the map right now. So it looks
Die,
cool.
don't fail me now.
Don't
Yeah.
touch me
Okay, we're going to look at
Mm-hmm.
21 and 25.
I forgot to
23.
23.
21.
So Damon,
No.
That's my third 4 in a row.
each.
But
What
it's an 8.
duck?
Break the
That's a
jail.
turkey.
All right, I have, so we have Damon and Skeech, we're above the 21 and 25. Let's look-
22.
22. All right, Mary.
Don't know about you.
And let's look at 16 to 20.
17.
16. 17 on the die, but 16 total. So still above a 10. Yep, first time this whole campaign.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. I think maybe not. But
All right, you got the Reverend.
What'd you get?
I got
And
16.
then we have Anna. And let's go look at our next bracket. They have it 11 to 15.
11.
11. Okay. We've got Vaughn. All right, so let's move down to the next one. Let's go from 6 to 10.
Thank you so
8.
much.
8.
10.
All right, so we have. And we get Yip Yip.
Did I math right?
We've got.
22. Yes, I did math
We have
right.
Echo, Sky, and who were we missing? Anybody we're missing at this point? I think we got everybody in the lineup on that, right?
What about our friendly goblins?
Friendly goblins are in the rotation already.
Oh,
And
Yeah, what about Steve?
say, are they under Skeech's
Steve.
control?
Steve goes after Sky. All right.
Bonus action.
So let's go ahead and look at Damon
Enjoy it.
first.
Okay.
Yip, yip, what was your initiative?
How far away is the closest knoll from where I am?
70 feet? 50 feet? About 60 feet? Okay.
Are there any shadows that are on the way there?
What is the range of your ability to step? I apologize, I don't have that off the top of my head.
What is the what? I'm sorry.
What's the range for your ability to step through the shadows?
45 seconds I can be in there. It doesn't say a range.
Okay. So basically, you would be in range if you shifted. That'll burn up one of your charges for that and allow you to pop out of that tent right by there. So you would be able to slip out from where you are because you're in the lee of that building where the shadow is and
Yeah.
pop out
Okay.
via the collapsed tents there where the skeleton is. And then you would be able to make your movement to close the distance there.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
All right. And you are in hand-to-hand range there, Damon.
Sweet. And I want to use Fangs of Death while I do this as well.
Oh my. Okay.
I'm sorry, but all I see
Oh,
is
that-
looks
that escalated
the
quickly.
purple cobras from Dodgeball. Yeah. That's what we should all do whenever we're in the shadow.
21.
21? 21 beats the AC. Please roll damage.
This is gonna be a lot.
Y'all got a lot of dice.
Do you need D6s?
Hang on.
Yeah.
You can have Echo's D6s of D6ing.
Oh,
No.
this creature is considered surprised, right?
Quite surprised.
Oh, cool. It's a critical hit.
Noise. Noise.
Good use of mystery box.
Yeah.
Oh, I
yeah.
will.
Yes, that was color.
Maybe. Hang on. Okay. So, how do you roll critical hits again? Just ask.
So you would max out the weapon damage,
Cool.
and then you would roll
Just
a regular
Yeah.
weapon damage.
Oh, sweet. Awesome.
So
So that will be.
I just got excited.
Yeah. No, my phone does. Yeah.
Okay. And then let me go ahead and just.
and then you add your sneak attack.
It's just a bomb.
24 points of damage.
24 points of damage. Damon, as you materialize in front of this thing, its eyes go wide in surprise, but unfortunately, it doesn't have time to react to it. It is still looking towards the group mostly, but shifting towards you, and the blades come out and shiv into this creature. You're pretty sure that you pierced both kidneys, and immediately this thing's just spits out a gout of blood and drops to the ground in a world of pain. The goblin sitting next to him, well, he's down. You can knock him over. He's dead.
Oh,
The goblin next to him turns to face you and is like, "Not me!" and drops his weapon.
Wait, in Northern?
Huh?
In Northern?
No. But you know what he says, and a couple of you that do speak Dark speak.
I know, right?
I do believe. Are there any other actions you have this round?
Nope, that's it.
All
Lots
right.
of contact.
That is going to move us
yeah.
over to one of the gnolls. So let's take the guy with the flails.
Aren't they surprised though?
What's that?
Aren't they surprised by us?
Wouldn't this be a surprise round?
Oh, that is unfortunate for the gnolls.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is a surprise sense of condition now.
That would give you guys a full round to do horrible, terrible things to these creatures. So let's move our way down our list of terrible humans and go to an inhuman. Skeech, we're back to you.
Closest knoll now.
That would be the one with the halberd there.
What's the distance on that, please?
Or glaive, actually, I believe.
Are we trying to make the goblins our friends?
I guess so.
Is that our goal?
80?
I think so.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Followers.
Should also always move closer.
Followers.
Yeah, so
Right, right.
Better than friends.
I will.
Much better.
Yeah.
I'm going to be at disadvantage either way. Move me up 15 feet. And I'm still going to try to hug these bombs. So that first one's going to go wide.
Okay, you huck the first one. Does it go off?
It will, but this one is not area of effect, so wherever it lands, it's just gonna pop.
Okay.
Unless a 9 hit the null.
No, it did not.
Right. What about a 14?
14 would, which one are you, he's going for the halberd one there? So that would be that would beat the AC.
Oh, right. Well, then he can have 8 fire damage.
8 fire damage.
Yep, and that one's not going to explode around him. That's just going to be a direct hit.
He's on fire currently, correct? Or is it just
no.
one round?
Nope, it's just fire type damage.
Okay. So as it hits him, there's a flash, and you can see it singes up a bunch of his fur. It's pretty mangy anyway to start with, and
I'm just
he
making
lets
a
out
pole.
a terrible howl. Anything else that you've got going on?
Passing my turn.
All right. Moves us down to Mary.
Okay. So can you please point to where the undead are?
They have been cleared.
Oh, they're completely
Oh,
clear.
Yes, they chucked enough goblins at the undead that they cleared them out.
Oh, that makes our life a lot easier.
Cool. Great.
I mean, like, that wasn't an okay thing to do, just establishing that.
Yeah, it was an okay thing to do, but it does make the fight easier.
I am going to cast Spirit Guardians
I'm gonna choose to be nice to you right
and get my nice little 15
Yip, stop
feet
saying that. I'm saying
of
Just ahead of
freaky spirits.
All right, make
That's
sure you
fair.
track that.
Yip had a tragic claw.
And do you want me to? I roll the damage right now, correct?
I do believe you roll the damage right now, and I do believe, where are you placing that?
Well, it's going to be around me.
Okay.
So, can I move? Where are the gnolls?
Closest one was 80 feet away.
Knolls and such are right up here.
I would like to move over there.
Are you going to move 60 feet? I mean, yeah. No, she can't. She already cast a spell, so 30 feet.
Yeah.
All right, let's have Mary charge out 30 feet, please.
And we've established that we're not murderizing the goblins.
Yes. I was told those are all gnolls.
Besides those two.
Is that right?
They're gnolls and goblins mixed together.
You can choose which.
I had to make a statement.
I can?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, great. Well, I just want the gnolls to take damage.
All right.
And that is...
That's speciesist.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just gotta wipe out a whole civilization, you know?
They were handy.
I
I
went
had to
there.
make a statement to them to let them know I was
So it's
serious.
going to be 10 damage.
I don't think anybody is currently within the
No.
ring there, but you are moving forward.
Yeah, those barrels though, they feel it.
Yep. And it is
Those
quite
girls are scared.
it is quite intimidating, this flash of these spirits racing and encircling your character in this sphere around them, which I'm sure is quite unsettling if you were not expecting that. It might be unsettling if you were expecting to be attacked. Anything else you've been doing this round? I do believe that pretty much would wrap up your actions and your...
Did any of them enter my circle?
No, none of them have
Not
currently
yet.
entered your circle.
Okay.
It's still a surprise round, so we're going to move on down to the Reverend.
I pick out the big knoll that just got hit by Skeech's bomb,
Mm-hmm.
and I take my bell out of my pocket, ding, 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 and a bolt of necrotic energy flies towards him and has to make a wisdom save.
And he fails.
Fails.
I would assume that a 10 is not going to beat your DC on that.
Only takes 6 necrotic.
All right.
rolled
Takes 6 necrotic. And to cover his additional damage, he's sitting at a DC 14 at this point, right?
All right, and then I'm gonna run up my full 30 feet into the
think there's
fray,
like 4.
and I look over at Echo as I pull out my rapier, and I give him a look like this, and I go, charge, and I run in.
Well, comforting point is you are within Mary's protection sphere there, so to speak. So
I ain't no dummy.
anything else that comes after you, at least we'll have to pass through that. And that would move us down the line to Anna.
Great. I'm gonna start running towards the knolls, so I'll just dash on, use my action to dash because we're 80 feet away, right, from the closest
60
one.
feet will close quite a bit of distance.
Okay, great. Yep. So I'll get as close as I can, and if I can get within melee.
Melee.
Which one do you want to go?
Okay,
Yes.
great.
The
Yeah.
injured
Yes.
one with the glaive is contactable. It looks like you can reach several different ones.
Great.
So there's the big
Great. And there's no one I can reach in 30 feet, though, right? It's just okay.
Unfortunately
great.
not.
Okay, great. Then I'll go to the big guy with the glaive. Yep, let's go get him. And for my bonus action, I will cast the armor of the one god. Oh,
All
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And you are encased in that
Yay.
holy glow there,
Mhm.
surrounded by that white light, feeling much more protected.
Shrink wrapped with light.
Yeah, loving shrink wrapping. Moving on down the line, that is going to bring us over to Vaughn.
If I use my full turn, my full movement, can I get up to the second story of the building right next to us and look out the windows and provide cover from above?
Give me an acrobatics, please.
Oh,
That's a nice sized dice there.
dirty 20.
Dirty 20. And up and into that you climb up. So let's move on into this room here. Yep. And there we go. And Vaughn, I do believe
Look an ounce towards where
how
the
many, 30 feet should allow you to look out. You're not at the edge, but you are in a position where you could look out and shoot down and see multiple targets.
Okay.
So I do believe that would still, with your climbing up and interacting there, that would, let's get it, I think that would pretty much burn up what you could do this round, but you are in position currently.
Sounds fine.
Anything else you're doing this round?
Looking.
Yep.
Do you need to borrow
Is it your
these?
turn?
Throws them up.
Do you got?
So, Yip, what are you doing?
Trying to get a better look right now.
So currently you're in an alleyway over here, and the engagement area is out in the plaza zone itself.
So we'll move out 30 feet. Perfect.
Okay, so let's go ahead and move her character out. Just leave Steve. Steve's tired.
Can I ask, which one are the gnolls?
The gnolls are the quite large, angry-looking ones in here, the bigger ones.
Can I aim a vitriolic spear behind some of them and just take out a good chunk of them from behind without hitting any of the goblins?
I think, unfortunately, a lot of the goblins are interlaced within the crowd there.
So I thought I saw a spot where there weren't goblins.
What is
that I
the
could hide them.
what is the radius on that?
20 feet?
20 feet. I don't
That's why I was saying aim
Yeah.
behind them.
Well, the only one that I could see that no, it's still gonna catch just about everybody the way that.
That's fair then.
That's
Yeah.
an AoE thing.
Then I am going to cast magic missile instead. I don't want to.
Magic missile hits.
Yep. No roll needed for
The
that.
end.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it's just the way it works. It's like Todd
I have to
Howard.
get these out.
D4s. They're D4s.
Are you upcasting it
Yeah, these
or?
are D4. Oh, no, these aren't D4s. I
Wait
may
to
be a
the
bit
camera.
dumb.
Really
Hey.
boxy.
These are D4s. These D4s
I
are
may be a
better.
bit. I may not be the smartest today. Okay.
Don't say that.
Whichever knoll is kind of the closest, I guess.
That would be probably the one with the glaive. Everybody is just not liking that one guy, man.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That'd be 10 force damage.
10 force damage. And how many missiles is it? It's 3?
3.
3? Okay. So as you cast it,
Well, that's
magic-
10 including all 3.
What's that?
That's 10
Yeah.
including all 3.
As you cast it, the 3 streaks of the magic missile race out and strike the knoll with the force damage there and just slam him into the ground, and he drops his glaive, laying sprawled out there. And he is at 0 HP. He's not dead yet. He's at 0 HP.
Got him.
Yeah.
And
Then there were 3.
Yeah,
that brings
apologies
us
for
down
the
to anything else. I think that would take up your actions at this point. I think Echo and Sky are up at this time now.
Okay. Sky is going to run her 50 movement into the Mary's aura.
Mm-hmm.
She'll just stay there. And she's going to ready an action. If anything tries to attack Mary, she's going to bite them.
All right.
But Echo, would he be able to get in the same building as Vaughn without using his action to do that? Just climb.
You have
Yeah.
climb, correct? So
Yes.
just track your movement.
45 movement.
And up we go.
That looked much easier when you did it. And he just kind of puts a hand on your shoulder, pulls out a longbow, and then the third arm is going to take his telescope and
forgot about
extend
the
it.
longbow.
So he has one arm holding the scope, and he's just going to aim the bow like a sniper and,
Hate
and
that arm, dude.
shoot at the furthest away knoll.
I'm so glad I'm so glad I hate that.
Yeah, me too.
What's there to be confused about? There's 3.
Okay.
It's just there.
That'll be a 13 to hit.
So the one in the far back, you rolled a 13. And that is the meter beat. You strike the knoll.
Nice.
Yes.
I will also favored foe this, so I'll add a d6.
I'm sure he appreciates it.
Okay, so that'll be 14 piercing damage.
14 pierce damage. As you fire off the bow and you see the arrow whistling towards him, for a split second you think it's going to miss. And just at the last moment, he changes his footing and the arrow stabs deeply into him, piercing past the armor. And he lets off a tremendous cackle. Like, not like the good kind of cackle, like the... Like, really upset that you just
He's still
stuck
alive.
this giant shaft of wood into him. Yes, he's
Second arrow.
alive. Oh my god.
That one will hit. Oh, sorry, I don't use that. Okay, so that'll be 7 more piercing.
7 more piercing damage, 14, 21. The second arrow sinks into him, and he staggers for a moment and still remains standing.
I'll just like lower the scope with one arm. Almost got him. That was very good.
And you can see right now he is starting to froth at the mouth. All right. Anything else you have going on right now? I think the guy is in position holding.
Yep.
You fired off your rounds. You climbed your movement. You're wrapped up, right?
All good.
All right. That's going to move us over to Steve.
Just seeing.
And Steve yells that same thing whenever she seems to be something about Reverend, that same and goes running up right next to Reverend
That's a special. What's a skill, right? Like, yeah, that's simple.
and is standing right next to Reverend.
One takes 3d4 psychic damage.
And that is the round, bringing us to the top of the actual engagement at this point. Damon, it is your action.
How many knolls are left?
Should be 3.
3 gnolls.
I want to go for the one that hasn't been injured by Echo. So just move me to 1. I can't really see it, unfortunately.
Put your faith in the hand.
Unarmored.
All right. That is the one that has 2 arrows hanging out of him, and he's beginning
Armored.
he's beginning to froth out of the mouth.
I want to go for the armored one.
So, is it one of the ones that the big shield?
Yeah, the one in that one in the back there was I think that's the one Echo shot. So the one without the
Bring
armor.
out the just go for the armored one.
We're gonna go for the armored one. Sorry, I could not see the other one there myself. So
I could offer
we're gonna move.
advice.
We're gonna move Damon over to the one who has the shield and the sword. He is facing. He is behind. Sorry, he is behind that individual, which means he is undetected. So Damon, what action are you taking? I'm going to assume that you're going to do some terrible.
Stabby, stab, stab. Like always. 18.
You're going to do a little back scratch. So 18 would broach the armor.
Sweet.
How many dice?
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to add a d6 in there.
Oh.
Oh,
How
no.
many dice?
Oh, dash.
17.
17 points of
Oh,
damage.
wait. I'm sorry. Sorry.
Like more dice.
18. Sorry.
18 points of damage. All right. You stab a nasty gash into his backside. You can see blood's trickling out of it. And again, another nasty cackle out of this creature, very much like an injured hyena. It looks over its shoulder at you and it growls. And at this point, it's going to pivot to face Damon. And it is going to attempt to stick you with a very nasty looking sword. He swings twice. First one is going to be that's going to be a 12. I'm going to assume it's going to miss. The second
Yep.
one is a 22.
That
22 would hit, and that is going to do 13 points of damage to you.
Okay.
And he howls.
R&R clear.
He howls in intense satisfaction that he drew blood against you. At this point, he kind of braces down and pushes the shield out in front of himself and is ready to go into combat with you. Moves us over to Skeech.
I want to move my 30 forward. And the closest knoll to me at this point would be how far away?
Yes, will help you hands there. It's quite nice.
That's perfect. That's the number I want. The first bomb goes, and does not have an AoE attached to it. It's an 11.
11 is not going to penetrate the armor.
What about the second one? With a 15.
15 would penetrate the armor.
All right, it can have 12 fire damage,
12 fire damage.
and that'll be my turn.
All right, and as your explosive strikes him, the flames spill over his armor. You can see it heats up the metal and such, and he howls again, looking quite upset. Does not drop, and he is barking something at one of the other gnolls, who begins to also froth at the mouth. Any other actions you're doing this round?
Nope, that's it for me.
Okay. That is going to move us to the gnoll that has the Morning Star there. And he is going to charge over at Damon. And yeah, not even a care in the world about that. And he is going to attempt to strike Damon with the Morning Star. And that's going to be a 15.
Oh.
And as he swings at you, Damon, you can feel it whoosh behind your head, and it does not make contact. Swings a second time, and that is going to be an 18.
That hits.
All right. That is going to do 8 points of damage to you.
Okay.
And this time the impact of this one strikes in your back, causing you to stumble a little bit, but you're still standing. And he howls in satisfaction at this. And you can kind of see him getting more amped up. And that moves us down to Mary.
Okay. I would like to run into the crowd.
All right.
So that as many gnolls as possible are taking
Set for
10
turn.
points of damage.
Yeah.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. If you move over to them, they they take damage immediately as they move into the ring
It's when they start.
when they start their turn inside the ring, correct?
Yes, so it gives them time. If we hit, the other ones don't hit. It gives you concentration.
All right.
Are there any gnolls outside the circle?
I don't believe so.
Okay, great. Well then, I will
Great success.
just pick one in particular to cast my spiritual weapon on, so that he cannot get away.
Oh,
Spiritual weapon also concentration.
I don't.
It is
Yeah.
not.
Oh.
So you activate your
It's a
spiritual
bonus
weapon.
action, and it's not
And you
concentration.
have it pop up next to
Heck
take the
yeah.
leader, who's the closest one, I believe, to
Yeah.
her. Is that
well,
correct?
The leader. Yep, that's what I want to do.
And you're going to strike the leader there?
Yeah. So I'm imagining like what you see in the cartoons, like whack-a-mole. You know,
I like that
like
whack-a-mole.
hammer type. Yeah.
Whack-a-mole.
All right.
Whack-a-mole.
Oh my god.
It's just a meat tenderizer.
And roll your attack.
Not great. Let's see. That is 9 damage.
9. As your spiritual hammer slams down, it strikes the knoll, but it only makes this kind of sound as it hits him, almost like a little clown hammer. Unfortunately, it does no damage. The knoll looks up quite annoyed.
Does no damage?
You didn't really hit him very well with that. You just didn't really penetrate the armor, unfortunately. And any other actions you have this turn? I do believe that's your movement. You have your concentration up, and now you have your spiritual weapon, correct?
Yes.
That's that?
I'm good. Yep.
All right. We're going to move down to the next knoll, the one that looks like he has fire on his hands. I do believe because he's...
So he takes the damage immediately.
Yeah, because he's starting his turn in there. So that is how many points of damage you said?
10.
10 points. 10 points of damage hit him. He steps backward out of the ring. He's going to move 30 feet.
This is terrible.
It's half. Okay, there's one that has fire there on his hands. He's going to move backwards
0
15
out of
feet.
5
then.
stars.
Actually, I had to do with the
No yelp.
mace. Yes. And he knocks the thing over. Don't worry. It's canon now. It's there. It's fine. In his haste to get away, he
It's
knocks the
wrapped
thing
up in
over.
it.
All right. It's fine. It's fine. Helping hands. We're good. So, and that he grumbles something in Knoll speak there, and from his fires that he has raging in his hands there, you see these traces of embers streak out, and the Knoll that's on the ground there stands back up.
Oh.
Ooh.
You can see that a lot of his wounds are knitting back up.
Got the wrong guy.
All right. And that takes care of his actions there. That is going to move us over to Anna Revan at this point.
Yeah, so I see the knoll that's attacking Damon.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe I could get to.
Yeah, Damon has a Knoll in front, a Knoll behind, and one on the side.
Well, I want to run up behind the one that's attacking Damon to flank it. I don't quite get there. Or do.
Smack that knoll.
They get 30 years.
5 feet. Do I have more than one knoll next to me?
Right here. It's on the other side, yeah. Yeah, you got it.
You have a goblin, you have a Knoll that's 5 feet away.
Yep, that's fine. All right, so I take the say to the goblin, "Hey, ugly, pick on someone who's pick on someone else." Cast the mockery.
I feel it.
Yeah, that was a good.
That hit hard.
So
Yeah,
wisdom
that was
save.
Wisdom save.
It hits the reference.
That would be a 16.
Wait, 16.
Mm-hmm.
He passes.
All right.
Oh, the classic
he
heat
doesn't quite
rubber.
understand what you're saying to him and looks confused
yeah,
towards
situation.
Skeech.
Yep. Mhm.
And any other actions you've got this round?
I give Damon inspiration.
Damon, you feel inspired. That moves us over to. Okay, he's done. Let's move. I believe at this point that actually would move to the regular rotation. Anna, you're up at this point, I believe.
Great. Am I flanking the armored guy with Damon if I turn around?
There is Anna in there. You have.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I think she only had to move 5 feet forward, and she would
Great.
have
Yep.
A knoll off to either side, correct?
Actually.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna move forward and use it as a wind up, and then like we practiced, I'm gonna try and knock out his, knock him down at the knee, bring him down to his knees, basically just knock him out at the legs to get
I
him.
don't need these.
Yeah, set him up for Damon's one
So you're
shot.
gonna try to knock him prone?
Or just like I want to strike his like legs, like at the knee, and like bring him
All
down.
right, that's a cold strike.
Break his kneecaps.
Yeah,
pretty
break his
much.
kneecaps. Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Go ahead,
just
make it.
shatter
it's a
him.
cold
Yeah.
strike, so it's going to change the arm AC on
Great,
that. So
but
go
I
ahead.
do have advantage, right? Because I am flanking.
Yes, that will give you advantage. That's
Great.
fine.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Do it.
Okay. Okay, so that's a 18 to hit.
Go and I'll
18
break
would
his
have been the
kneecap.
DC on that. Well done.
Great. Okay. Fantastic.
Roll damage.
Okay. Great. And that's gonna be a 14 points of damage, or 14 points of damage.
14 points of damage.
Yeah.
You hit this knoll's knee.
Yeah.
And remember, it's a digitigrade structure, I believe.
Yeah.
The leg comes down, juts back, and then comes out almost like a dog's leg.
Mm-hmm.
And when you hit it, it
Yeah.
now becomes more like a stork's leg and flexes backwards,
Uh-huh.
whipping and driving the knoll onto the ground, where it makes this whimpering sound and kind of like mules a bit as it spins in a circle and then goes still.
So I tried to set it up for you, but
Keeps his soul in his knee.
You killed it instead of
That is
setting
the leader
it
with the
up.
shield.
That's almost preferred, actually.
yeah. Is there anyone else within that I can get to with it?
Yes, the one with the glaive that just stood back up,
Great.
feeling better.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit it.
I'm gonna make it not
I'm
feel
gonna,
better.
yeah, I'm gonna.
Are you going to use the same type of thing? Or you
This
hit
one
it
I'm
with the
just
regular
gonna
strike?
straight like hit because.
All right. Using a standard AC on that.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Oh
No.
dear. No. Oh no. That's a 12 to hit.
A 12 to hit. This hammer comes down and smashes the ground right in front of his toes.
It's a warning
Almost
shot.
right close.
Everybody
Warning
gets one.
shot. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
as he was kind of recovering, again, the injury's healing up, and he looks down at it, very surprised at this point in time. That wraps up your
Yep,
motions, I
that's
believe. It's
it.
going to move
Yep.
us over to Vaughn.
I'm looking over at this guy next to me. I got winded coming up the side of the building. This one's got 3 arms. I've only got 2. There's nothing I can do that's going to be better than what Echo can produce. And I'm going to, for a moment, look like I'm about to put my bolt into my crossbow. I'm going to stop. And hey, take this. I think this will be helpful for you. He grabs it with the third arm. I'm going to take the help action. And so I can give Echo advantage on their next attack, as I've given them my magical projectile True Strike, which will immediately change into something that fits your weapon. Whoa. When you shoot it. And well, that's all. I'll worry about the rest. You just fire.
You got him, Vaughn.
All right. Any other actions you got this round? That's
Nope.
it? Okay. That is going to move us down to Yip.
It's gonna be 2
Hi.
arms pulling back.
So how far away would you say the dude with magic hands is?
So 45 feet. 70 feet?
Without the
Where is Yip? Oh, Yip Yip's way back there. My bad. Okay.
No, he
So
said
yeah,
with
we're
a
looking at 70
smile.
feet.
So could I move
Bit of a building in the way there, sorry.
a bit to the left and forward?
So you want to move like, what, about 15 feet forward?
Yeah, 15 feet forward and a bit to the side too.
You can pass right through the Steve. Not much of an issue.
Steve without Steve.
Pass with Steve.
Just leave it. If it's knocked over, just leave it. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Where is she now?
right in front of Steve next stack.
So that would be 60, 55 feet at that point, roughly.
That was 15 feet?
That was 15 feet.
Move her more to the left still. 15 feet more.
Okay, 30 feet. So that's going to change. 40 feet. All right.
Okay, cool. I am going to cast.
Mm-hmm.
Rough fight.
I am going to. I have a direct line of sight. Is there anything else in that line of sight?
Between you and that, I believe there's a goblin in the way. There's a dead gnoll body laying on the ground, and then I believe there would just be our gnoll right there.
Cool. That goblin now has, I'm pretty sure careful spell basically makes it half damage. Automatically succeeds the save. So I'm gonna cast, I don't know how to pronounce this, the Scorcher spell.
Hythar.
Yes.
That's Yip Yip Scorcher.
Yip Yip Scorcher.
Yip Yip Scorcher.
Yip Scorcher.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yep. Yep.
It looks like this.
Another special.
I believe it.
All right, let's.
Here's another one.
Octahedron?
So what is
Help our way.
Perhaps a third?
40 feet? So is it just a straight attack, or is this a save?
I was wrong. I can't.
Is
cast that.
this
Oh, that was my. I thought you said 30. No, I was not.
I'm gonna do magic missile again. How about that?
All right, it just strikes. It just works.
Yep, it just works.
And roll damage.
It just works.
Yep.
Works better with sound effects, though.
5,
Always.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 force damage.
And you strike him, and he falls down, not breathing any longer.
Work either way.
Give me a
Two.
Leader or no?
That was the one with the fire hands.
It's the one I think he's still
Fire
alive.
hands McGee.
The one that revived another gnoll or
I do
whatever.
believe that wraps up your actions. Is that correct?
Cleric.
Yeah.
All right, Echo, it is now your turn. You and Sky.
Okay. So the well, let's do Sky first. Who can she get? Is there a gnoll near her?
I do believe with
Okay, she'll attack the nearest gnoll, and she is going to do her bite.
she's gonna hit the glaive guy.
Sure.
Okay.
So with a natural 19, she'll hit.
That will strike.
And it needs to make a strength save, DC 13.
He failed.
He is prone, which means this is a crit. So that'll be 23 piercing damage.
All right. So Sky latches onto his leg and begins to shake him, which knocks him to the ground and continues the shaking action.
Like a pull.
And at first, he's kind of putting up a resistance, and then it's more like a kind of a droopy dog treatment as Sky begins to slam
Oh no.
the gnoll back and forth until all of a sudden there's just a limb in her mouth.
I say now, ladies.
And that is the end of that gnoll.
Ew. Is there just one left now?
And that just leaves the one with the arrow sticking out of him, the fire damage, and the flails.
Echo, with the assistance from Vaughn, he pulls back the bowstring, and you just see kind of frost start to freeze over the strings.
This is gonna be
with the scope up as he unleashes an arrow that feels a little chilly.
And Vaughn whispers, Ignis as it's released for an additional D4 of fire damage.
All right.
And then when you say fire and ice.
Icy on.
Hey, Vaughn.
The explosive bolt.
Vaughn, roll Arcana for me.
That'll be a 17 something to hit.
17? 17 will hit.
Okay, so that is.
Okay, 17.
17. All right.
And
For
it
the
needs to
record,
make-
that is not a class ability or hemomancy whatsoever.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
So, Echo, as you pull the bow back and it fires off, it is covered in frost as you do so. And when Vaughn says, which
I
is,
said it a moment ago.
yeah,
Don't make me say it again.
but you want to say it again, trust me.
Ignis.
Yes. It first begins to look like it flares up with fire, but then the fire itself becomes this bright blue flame of ice as it goes sailing through the air.
So that will be. I counted it and then forgot it. It's a big mood. 13 plus 4, so 17 piercing, and then it needs to make. Oh, sorry, that's more than piercing. It's a bunch of different damage types. Doesn't matter.
So, as the
I think additional
what was a
numbers don't
bolt
matter either.
and is now an arrow strikes this creature, it hits it, and the frost, the ice begins to spread across it. He falls to the ground, and most of the body shatters into pieces.
Perfect. So he's not getting up again, right?
If you've got some glue and the time and the inclination, you could probably get him back on his feet.
I do.
You should get
I wasn't. I know. You know what? That sounds like a Skeech home project. I understand that.
Is there another
kobold, or I mean, sorry, Knoll that is like not all the way dead, like nearly dead?
I think
no.
that was the last one.
That is the last of all of them.
Okay, I'll
at
fire a
this
second
point.
arrow at the one I just killed, just to make sure it's okay. I miss with a natural
Double
one.
dead.
Oh. Oh no.
Decision was made.
Go ahead
Do we need
and
the
hand over
die?
that, please.
Double tapping it, you know.
Yeah. It
So
brings
I guess
him back
we
to
hit someone
life.
else.
Yeah.
Well,
You hit the reverend back of the
We're
head.
good.
Okay.
Okay, good.
The
Just
arrow
a normal amount.
the arrow just strikes the cobblestone and skips off, clattering down the street.
Okay. I hope Vaughn didn't see that one. That's all I've been doing is watching.
You turn and you just see
Hey,
Vaughn
Vaughn.
staring you
It's all
down.
that. The two of you give this exchange back and forth, like, ooh.
You have to call it.
And at this point in
say the
time,
word.
the battlefield becomes quiet. The
Say what word?
goblins are staring at all of you, and they have
Does it
dropped
come
their
back to you
weapons,
now?
and they're all looking around, very confused at this point in time.
Come along, everybody in.
I'm standing there with my rapier. I was about to run up and stab that guy, and then he got dropped by an arrow. I'm like, I look back over in the tower. Come on, Echo! I was trying to use the stuff you showed me.
Did I hit him?
Got him.
I will help Vaughn down from the tower if he's trying to get down. Thanks.
You big strong. I almost imagine like helping like your old father down. You know what I mean? Like, come on, Grandpa.
Not that old.
Fortunately, coming down from this side is a lot easier, and out into the courtyard you all go. And Mary, do you keep your spirit guardians up, or are you dropping that?
I'm dropping it.
All right. And now there's just an awkward silence. The goblins are fidgeting about, kind of shifting back and forth, looking over at Skeech, looking at the rest of you all. Steve is licking her lips and looking quite hungrily at the goblins.
No. Bam.
All right. Like I said, I'm in charge now. Does anybody have a problem with that?
No, Sir Skeech.
in dark speech to the goblins.
They're all looking at each other, and like nobody looks like they're going to cross that line.
Right. Perfect. First thing, what were the gnolls having you guys do out here?
Well, we were looking for lunch, and then we ran into those undead things. We've not seen those before. There was some minor disagreement about who should see what they were all about, and then they threw our leader at the undead, and well, then they blew up, and then other ones got thrown at other ones, and they blew up, and all of a sudden the gnolls started blowing up, and then they...
Why were you working with the gnolls in the first place?
Well, mostly because they would eat us if we didn't do what they were saying.
So they're talking first now?
No, they came in and ate a good number of us, but when they were full, they kept the rest of us around. Most likely, if we would find any lunch today, we would probably be eaten too, but we figured it was better to try to, work that angle as best we could.
Practical.
I'm gonna reach into my used bag of holding, and I'm gonna start pulling out a couple loaves of glitter-covered bread.
All right, well, don't worry about the food for now. We're gonna have some more questions, but...
It's made out of unicorns?
Oh, this is.
I'm gonna hold up the unicorn dust.
Did you sprinkle that on the bread?
Yeah.
We're not gonna get cursed or something, right, when we eat this?
Yeah, probably. Probably not. Are you in a position to ask questions right now?
Probably not.
All right.
So, yes, okay.
Couple ground rules.
There's a slurping, crunching sound coming from behind you. And you can see Steve is feasting on the gnolls.
Don't do that to any of these guys.
It's a web.
Or any of the humans we might run into right now anyway. It's a long story, but they're working with us right now.
The humans are working with the goblins?
With us.
We're
Hello.
going with you.
Dark speak.
You are for now.
I walk over to Skeech. Oh, great and powerful Skeech. Can I have a word with you for a moment?
Yeah, we can just talk in Northern. They don't understand.
Oh, well, I'm trying to show deference to. If
I don't think they're gonna care at this point.
if you could just like get them to listen to me for like about a minute, then I can charm all of them if you want.
To what end?
I don't know. Tell them what to do.
Don't they have to understand you?
I can tell them what to do anyway.
All right, fair enough. I'm just trying to help.
No, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Reverend.
I believe he had tongues.
This is your show, Skeech.
You didn't?
I'm actually surprised.
Well, because I blew a couple of them up since we
So did I.
started.
Can't backtrack that.
Gotta show dominance.
They do not have to understand what I'm saying for the record.
That
Because
is-
I could be dancing.
Straight vibes,
That is-
bro.
I could be dancing.
Absolutely wonderful. So yes, we didn't break any rules. Let's go for it.
Is there anything else in the area right now? Any other groups moving?
Any other groups? Not that we've run into. I mean, there's always got to watch out for the perfected, but we're relatively a good distance from them. I mean, we're close to the cathedral. There's always an undead presence over in that area.
Right, but we have a little bit of time.
And I'm going to share that we have a small amount of time. We need to get in, get whatever it is we're here for, and start moving because
Does anyone have any objections if I go and take a look at those bodies before we? I'd like to know what exactly we're dealing with.
Yeah, I'll just come with you just in case. You know? Yeah.
Would be careful. Okay.
All right, and while you guys are doing that, I'll go ahead and kind of lay some more ground rules for them.
I just want to go poke around, see what I can figure out, Arcana-wise, investigation-wise. I want to get a better understanding of how they work, how they were brought back. If
I would
anything
say-
unique or special.
Depending on which one you choose will change the information that you receive. You can either do investigation or arcana.
I want the Arcana then.
Let's take a look.
It'll be a nat 20 for 30.
All right. As you begin poking around the remains of the zombies that exploded, it takes you multiple ones to piece together what you're looking at right there. And yes, these are certainly brought back by necromantic means. But again, the invocations that brought them back obviously brought them back differently than a regular low functioning zombie that is pretty much just a walking corpse type of situation. These basically were designed to explode just like that. There doesn't seem to be a whole lot of other purpose with the other symbols you see etched into the flesh and such like that.
With that natural 20, is there anything that I get an understanding of how to essentially deactivate these walking bombs?
There is no way to deactivate them. Basically, don't be detected by them. Don't get within proximity is what you can tell on that. They're pretty much their main purpose is to explode. Maybe possible ways they could be used would be to deter somebody from getting into an area. Obviously, sending them into a pack of individuals would be like dropping a firebomb. So yeah, it is very much an area deterrent.
Look over to Anna, who's chaperoning me.
Yeah, I'm just casually leaning against the wall. While he's doing this, I want to use one of my divine senses and just keep an eye out for good and evil in the area. Just chill. No big deal. I'm sure it's
Only
fine.
good that you're kind of picking up is from your party.
Good. Okay, yeah.
As far as the evil radar goes off,
Yeah.
there's nothing directly immediate except for the goblins that are all hanging out near Skeech.
All right,
bias.
cool.
Well, it's unfortunate, but it seems like whoever brought them back and was controlling them has augmented them or changed them somehow. They have a singular purpose, and from what I've been able to gather, there's no way to deactivate them. They are made to explode.
I mean, that's a little cool, but unfortunate. I mean, it's deeply unfortunate. Not cool at all. No, you're right. Yes, yeah. This is a serious
It's
matter.
worrisome.
Yeah.
It's
Yes,
worrisome for
yes,
us, yes.
yes, yes.
That sounds about right for the bishop.
You believe this is the bishop's work? You've seen this before?
Yeah, this is definitely not the physician stuff.
Definitely not the physicians. And considering that they're undead, I can put 2 and 2 together. Since the bishop usually deals with undead.
Skeech, you can pretty much back that up as well. There's really only one dealer in undeath in the city.
Yeah,
The
no eating.
cathedral with the, giant whirling storm.
That one.
Well, Vaughn, were you able to tell if they explode on contact, or do you have to do enough damage to them for them to actually trigger?
Well, from what we saw from that horrible scene, it seems as if they're almost hardwired for taking damage, any type of disturbance, or if they were to rush into the crowd. It could just be instantaneous if they've taken any type of damage whatsoever. It doesn't seem like just throwing one of the goblins would have done much, and that set them off.
Okay. Well, if we encounter them, I think we'll have to employ some tactics that involve distance. I don't think there's a better way to do it unless we have a way to, like, send in a loose cart unmanned or something to just trigger a bunch of them. But hopefully it won't come to that.
It's also not the worst idea.
Yeah. Or maybe a bomb. We could trigger like some sort of chain reaction.
Look back towards each.
Ear,
We
like-
have bombs.
Yeah.
Since it's cleared out now, should we go in the warehouse? Please?
Yes. Yeah. Let's go investigate the warehouse.
I'm gonna
Maybe the goblins could be patrol
Pull back Echo.
outside.
Echo, do you want to hold on to that?
Hold on to
That bolt. Arrow.
Vaughn, I don't mean this to be disrespectful, but if you're not using your powers, how are you going to defend yourself if you don't even have your best weapon?
You seem to have done quite well.
In a
Echo.
protected structure with no one behind us and 4 walls around us and allies in front of us, I'd feel better knowing you have a last resort at least.
He pats down in his rapier. I'm not defenseless, Echo.
Okay. Sure. Thank you, Vaughn. But if you do want training, the Reverend's taken great strides over the last couple weeks, and I think I'm kind of getting the hang of this, like, teaching thing.
To be honest, I think it might suit you. You have a very matter-of-fact way about you.
Do I? That was a statement, not a question.
You gotta switch those.
Oh, I do. And he just kind of gives you a nod and flips the arrow into his third arm.
It would not be hard to tell that he wanted to give you this gift, but he is sad.
Echo just back away slowly, like walking backwards but looking at you, just like deep eye contact.
Your third hand pushes your hand.
Oh no.
All right. So, I hate that hand. So you all are moving forward to look at the warehouse, or what is your next course of action?
Probably just the warehouse.
Was there anything that the zombie bodies were like guarding, like away, like were they just in the mouth of an alley, or were they
They
like?
seem to be out in the street.
Okay, gotcha. All right, cool. Then yep, just into the warehouse.
As you all come around from where you are onto the side street where the warehouse itself is, from this angle, it completely changes your perspective on the warehouse itself. You can see where a massive hunk of the granite has torn through the building, and then obviously a fire at one point must have erupted, probably because oil lamps or something spilling in there with the rock, and it is, again, from this side, it has burned out this building entirely. Pretty much all that's left is a really nice wall and frame on one side, and as you move about, you can see where the damage and the fire has gutted the place to the other.
All right, well let's. I let's check this way to the office. All right. And Anna will start to move in, and yeah. And just taking in the memories of all this place and remembering like growing up here and like the dust streaming through the windows and touring with her dad, and yeah.
Yeah, you can remember how the hustle and bustle of lots of merchants coming in and out,
Yeah.
people trading the commodities. But again, this place is pretty much just a hollowed out shell at this point.
With the drifting snow and the cold, yeah. 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 Yeah, all right, so I lead them to the office where the papers would have been kept.
The warehouse itself is just an empty shell at this point.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it
that
is.
empty.
Aside
Okay.
from the one wall standing that you first saw, and that little bit
Okay.
of a front piece, as you move around to the side, and you have a really straight on look at it, you can see that half the building is gone and the interior has basically been burned out. It is
Just totally. Oh, good. Yeah. Okay. Well, good news. We're done searching. Yay.
well, that was the warehouse, not your
Yeah.
homestead.
Yeah, just the warehouse. Yeah, so good. So this is so efficient. We can just move right on. Yeah, good. Yeah, let's go. Uh-huh.
I go and put my hand on his shoulder. Anna, are you all right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's good that we got this done so fast because we really did want to be fast this time.
Anna.
Mm-hmm.
I know what it's like to come home.
Yeah.
It's gonna be hard,
Yeah.
but we're here too.
Yeah, we're here for you.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. I'm glad.
It's
But-
okay to not be okay, too.
Great. Good. Yeah. But there's no, I guess it is just a little hard. Yeah. Well,
All right, we'll be on the lookout for zombies.
yeah. And at least they explode, and that's really terrible and not cool at all. Okay, so let's go. Let's go home.
As we leave, do I have a chance to like snag a brick and put it in the bag?
It would not be hard for you to pick up a brick. As you proceed further down the boulevard, it
With the goblins?
changes from the warehouse area over to a more homes and things. You see several nice places where people would live, more than likely, given the setup of the houses and the proximity, probably where servants or freemen would have lived that would help take care of a lot of the estates. And then you actually move on to the estate row. And when you step out into the main drag, you can actually see the bay there. It is dismal looking, to say the least. The main gates that would have led out into the large bay that links up to Granitegard are closed. You can see the docks way to the other side. There are boats in their moorings, but they are primarily sunk, mostly just masts and things like that poking out. And then again, you can see a row of very prestigious homes lining the main boulevard. Looking down this direction, you can see where it leads towards the castle. And you can also look up and see where the cathedral sits too. And the one at the far end, Anna is staring at this house. It is a 2-story affair. Looks to be made out of granite block. And as she had said before, there are lots of massive windows that line this. There is a tall perimeter fence around the exterior with very nice wrought iron that is on the top of it for, keeping people from scaling up and over the top of the wall. And the front gates, one is closed, but one is partially ajar. You can see they are also wrought iron as well. And this huge family crest adorns the gates, which you immediately recognize as home. But what strikes all of you more than anything else that stands out in the rest of the city is the fact that the grounds appear to have relatively lush-looking plant life and no snow whatsoever. And here's where we end our episode for the evening. So do please join us next week and see what mysteries that Anna's home has for our party.
Time to sleuth.
You have yourself a wonderful week, and we will see you again here next Sunday evening at 7 p.m. Take care.